Reactors, I'm Erica and I'm the host of the Relatable Reactions podcast where we react to real stories submitted on the interwebs. My great friend Deborah is back once again to help me dissect 8 more stories focused on relationships, co-workers, and other assholery. Say hey.
Hey y'all.
Before we begin, hit the subscribe or follow button so you can catch future episodes on your favorite podcast platform. Okay, Deb, you ready to get started?
Oh yeah. What do you got for me this week?
So this first story is titled, "My Boyfriend Sold My Guinea Pigs Without Telling Me and Kept the Money." Nice little icebreaker.
Just up my alley. Okay. Guinea pigs. Perfect.
I figured you'd relate. You know, you got some at home, right?
Yeah, all my animals, like my farm.
Exactly.
Yeah, very much empathy there.
Okay, so she says, I've been with my boyfriend for 10 months now, and he asked me to move into his flat 2 months ago. I agreed and quickly started moving my belongings out of my parents' home and into his. I've had 2 guinea pigs for about 2 years. They lived with me in my parents' home, but I bought them with my own money. I fed and cared for them completely. They were my pets. I asked my boyfriend if he would be okay with them coming with me, as obviously I didn't want to leave them behind. My mom said she would look after them for me, but I would prefer if they moved with me too. My boyfriend agreed that I could take them to what would soon be our flat. I moved them in, put them in the front room, and my boyfriend even said he liked them. He used to handle them and help me feed and clean them out. He never expressed any dislike towards them. Now, 3 days ago, I got home from work and immediately noticed their cage was missing. I asked what happened, and he just simply said he got rid of them. I asked what he did with them, and he said he'd sold them to his friend as his friend's daughter really wanted a pet, and he was sick of the smell in his apartment, so they had to go. I got really upset, and he told me I was being dramatic as they're just basically rats without tails. And how people kill rats all the time, so be grateful they went to a good home. He want to get cut so bad, don't he? He sold the cage, both the pigs, all of their food, bedding, and toys for a total of 60 euros, when I must have spent about 200 euros buying all of those things in the first place. I asked him what he did with the money, and he said he was keeping it as he sold them, therefore it's his money. I explained I wasn't going to pay my half of the rent this week, and that he had no right to sell my pets. He should have told me or at least asked me to move them back to my parents' house. I'm so upset with him and he doesn't understand why. What can I do? The end. Girl.
Why do people go to the internet?
If you don't call the police.
No. Well, I mean, she could sue. It's her property that he sold, right, without her. She can't get him back, or... This is just ridiculous. Like, first of all, just leave the dude, right? I mean...
That's step one.
Yeah, I could care less about guinea pigs, right? Or any animal, for that matter.
It could have been your laptop or your shoes or something, whatever.
As far as I'm concerned, right. Yeah. I don't like it. It stunk. You never said that before.
Right.
Like, you were feeding them, you're playing with them just one day. They stank, too bad, whatever. They're out. My friend wanted pets. And now it's my money, too. Like... Who is this person?
Who is he? 10 months.
So how long? So, right. 10 months they're dating. 2 months. So she's been living there for 2 months. So 3 weeks ago. So like a month and a week.
3 days ago.
3 days ago. So after 2 months of living there, they do stink. That shit
they've got that like rodent.
I just
creature.
remember as a kid, I can inherently like not in
right in the classroom, like when you can,
because there's like sawdust. I don't know what.
Because you can't fully, because like, newspaper, like crumpled up newspaper is in there, and they're pooping at all hours of the day, and you never know until you finally decide to clean it out. So why couldn't you just move them into a back bedroom or move them into, I don't know how big the place is, but I feel like there were other options before selling them.
Well, no conversation. That's right.
Exactly. She got home from work and her fucking pets are gone.
Yeah, if you go back to episode 2 with Deb, communication, right? I mean, but regardless, that's her property. You don't own it. It's in my house now. She asked you. According to her.
In my house, yep.
Can I bring him? He says yes.
Right.
I mean, and then they sound young too, right? Where she's only because
she's 20, he's 29.
Okay. Well, she sounded young because it's her story. Only from the fact of
my parents.
And I paid for him with my own money. Nobody talks
right.
like that. You know, that is...
I saved up all my college.
Right, is older. You know what I mean? Like, here, I'm not like, oh, look, I bought lunch with my money. Like, of course. So, yeah, she's still young. I appreciate that. He is 29 is too for a guy because they're never baked till they're 50.
Facts.
But still,
they're just rats without tails, though, Dad.
Well, they are. I mean, I do agree with that.
I mean, but to say that back as if that was the reason why.
Right. I mean, I do agree with his sentiment. They are and all of that, but you can't just choose unilaterally to say they stink, the house stinks, and I'm done. Mm-hmm. Tell her. Yep. She could have given back to her mom.
Yep, exactly. That was her point. Like, I could have, like, my mom even offered to keep them beforehand, so it would have not been a problem for me to...
Right. Just go right back home with them.
And I don't... Look, it's in euros. 60 euros is what he sold them for. 200 is what she paid. Are you hard up? Like, why are you keeping the money? Right. And why did you sell it for $10 if that's like the equivalent?
Right. Well, it's all so you second gave it to him
for free?
Anyway, you're not going to get full retail. Like,
are you telling me my guinea pigs depreciated?
Yeah, and the shit with it. I don't know, right? I mean, if all of it was 200 and all of it is 60, what are the toys? What is the aquarium or I don't know the cage or right? Aren't they in glass? Like
right.
But I would also say, you know what? She had 2 years, right? Mm-hmm. Does she know the friend with the like? If they've been dating and living, could she call them and say
he did this on accident? Like he did, or like explaining the story. I bet they would have been like, "Oh, we didn't even know." Like we'd be more than happy to just give us our money back. Like they'd be fair to say, "Well, then." So exactly. If you love though, I'm just saying, here is a life lesson. Mm-hmm. Go to your folks, ask for 60 pounds, buy them and all your shit back, move out, go home. He's not for you. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, what's next? What do you just get to decide? Like my toothbrush is missing the next day. the tacos that I had that I bought last night for leftovers. Now you've eaten them on that, and that's fighting. Like, don't eat my leftovers. Like nothing is safe. I don't feel safe.
Well, and is it because it's his? Because she moved into his? Is it still in his mind? This is now my home, as opposed to people have trouble with that, right?
Yes, they absolutely
You moved into
do.
mine, so
everything
still rent
is
it,
mine.
Dude. It's not yours anyway. But you asked her, and she said her half of the rent.
And you're
so
sitting
now,
on my couch right now, like,
right? Yeah.
What?
I know. I'll bring my own next.
But you can see, like, it's so funny. She even in the beginning. Back to she's so young, like she has a young mind. Like, my boyfriend agreed, and I could take them to what would be soon our flat. Like she can see her, like, ooh, like it's ours now. Wedding bells are next. Like,
yeah,
no.
And life lesson too. She can't not pay rent. Well, again, so is she not again?
Judge Judy will tell you you're crazy.
Are you on the lease? Because you can't just say no. I'm not paying rent. You don't get to choose.
Right.
But that could, it's a very de minimis amount. Well, I don't know what 60 pounds is. I don't know if they're more or less than the dollar, but that was your property. You could sue. You could, in small claims, right? For $5. Again, I don't know the cost. You could sue that, right? He didn't own them. That's her property.
Well, so when she said I explained that I wasn't going to pay half my rent this week, and that he had no right to sell my pets. It's not like she actually said what he said in return. Maybe he was like, all right, fine. I kept the money. You don't pay half your rent. Like, we don't know what he said to that little ultimatum or that little...
Well, that's true. I mean, if that makes her even, because it's all just that money.
Right.
But to me, it's a life lesson. Chalk it up. You're too young. Get back with mom and dad.
Get
Bake
back with
more.
Mom and
You're
Dad.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This guy seems to be... trouble. He has no respect for you or your things. Like, they're living animals. Like, I would probably be pissed if it were shoes or a picture frame or anything.
Any of my property.
But these are, they are my pets and I love them. Like, part of me thinks that's evil. Like, he's not a nice person at all.
Yeah. So, and those who know me know I don't have that pet Not that I don't have the empathy. I don't have the gene that why you would want a creature
to take
around.
care of.
Be a dog, an animal, a guinea, anything, a plant.
It is quite weird.
But
we are strange beings. Right. We are.
So I so even can't get into how do you get attached to a rat? Because I do agree. As opposed to like a dog. again, I don't have, but I get it, right? They get on your lap, right? They go get, they're attentive.
They're interactive.
They're interactive. Perfect. Yep. They just run on a fucking wheel.
Yeah. And if you let them out, they'd escape and be all over the house where you can't get to them. Like, they'd be in the fucking vents. So
right. So if I got the type of dog you had, right, if something, God forbid, and I was which this would never happen if my dog sat and he ran out, got hit by a car, I could not go buy another one that looked exactly like it. You still would know by the dog's personality how he comes to you in the name.
Exactly.
I could, however, buy 2 rats in a cage
you sure could.
that look just like it, make sure they're fat, same little size, whatever. You would have no clue that that thing running in a wheel
exactly
is the, Joe that you had before.
Yep, and you don't even know that one is a hamster. Oops.
Right, and what if I bought a woman? You wouldn't, or a female. As opposed to a male hamster,
or damn, a gerbil. Like there's all these types of different ones. I mistakenly wouldn't got you a hamster and a gerbil. Oops, and right. You don't even know.
So I'm sorry, we're kind of ragging on you. They were your pets, but that's our point of view. Oh well. But yeah, maybe go find the friends. If you knew him, you should know who he sold them to.
Yeah.
See if you can buy him back, and then, but bottom line, get the hell out. He's no good.
Yeah.
Because that's just not right.
Next story. So, story 2 says, my best friend's boyfriend is extremely creepy and a freeloader, and I don't know how to tell her. So, I'm warning you, this one's really long, and I apologize. And I kept, because I have the liberty of kind of editing things, like taking out all the bullshit, like that's not important. I think all of this is important, so I kept it in there. Okay. So. This Memorial Day weekend, I came to visit my best friend because her and I do not see each other regularly due to moving to different cities after college. I figured that since I had a bit of money and an extra day off of work, I'll surprise her and show up. Little to my surprise, she has forged a brand new relationship and is already living with the man. When I first arrived, he seemed very cordial. I bought wine and a houseplant to help bring some life into their newly acquired house until they can get some money for interior decorations. He thanked me and was genuinely excited to meet me because he's heard so much about me. The first day or night goes off without a hitch, and I went to sleep with an overall good feeling about the man. That is, until the next day. The next day, my best friend and I decided to do brunch and a walking tour of the downtown area, and we also decided to try out all of the local breweries that popped up in the area. It was a pleasant day with her, and we caught up. When we were at the last brewery, she mentioned that her boyfriend gets a little weird without his weed, and can we stop by some person's house to buy some? In my state, weed is legal, so I go to an authorized retailer. In this state, it's illegal, so you still have to do under-the-table buys. I immediately pictured her saying, right, literally under a table. Like, what the? I did not feel comfortable taking such risks, but I did it because they were hosting me and I also wanted to smoke. When I get to the house, he's withdrawn and is not as talkative as he was yesterday. So I handed him the weed and he just walks off and starts to break it up and roll it. He didn't even thank me for it. I figured this would pass when he would get some THC in his system, but he instead runs into the back room and closes the door and doesn't socialize. Then I told my best friend to go grab the wine that was open last night, and she says that it was completely gone. I found that weird, being as though he already drank a whole separate bottle and a tall can of Budweiser. I again shrugged this off. When the next bottle is opened, he claims that he didn't like it because it was too dry for him. After my first glass, I realized I was still pretty drunk from the brewery tour, so I left the wine alone. He comes to me and asks if I wanted the bottle anymore, and I told him no, and he proceeds to drink the whole bottle with no regard to my best friend or myself. Again, there was no thank you. I go into the room, and they decided to play together on the Nintendo Switch, and they invited me to join. I told them that I wasn't familiar with the game they were playing, but I will give it a shot. After a quick crash course, I got the hang of the game, but we still lost the first round. He then proceeds to make disparaging remarks about me and gets really nasty as the game goes on. The whole time, my best friend is laughing and thinks it's cute. I get very discouraged and withdrawn and decided to stop playing, and they didn't notice that my character was even moving on the screen. He eventually realizes that I'm not going to open the last bottle of wine, and he was itching to drink again. He then proceeds to ask my best friend about her finances so he can go to the store and grab a beer for himself. She says she's broke, and I decided to play broke so he doesn't look at me. This prompted me to ask her out of his presence whether he was employed. She says no, and that she does everything for him and the house. Now my alarm bells are going off about this guy. Now?
Right.
Okay, last couple. Later that same evening, I was washing the dishes after my best friend cooked dinner. He then comes up behind me and touches my butt. I was so thrown off by this gesture that I stopped doing the dishes and ran to the back with my friend. I didn't realize I was asleep until I heard his house shoes gliding across the floor. I wake up and he's standing over.
Well, okay, I'm sorry.
What?
He touches her ass. She runs to the
She
bedroom.
goes to sleep.
I didn't know I was asleep. Okay, so sorry. Just
It's
trying
all
to follow.
that beer.
Apparently, yes.
I wake up and he's standing over my side of the bed smoking a cigarette. I guess I scared him off when I jerked myself up and he walked out of the room. I fell back asleep. And sometime later, I hear the house shoes gliding again. I decided to play sleep and slightly crack my eyes. I saw him on my side of the bed rifling through some of the things I had on the nightstand. He then proceeds to stand in the same position I saw him in earlier. I then did an exaggerated toss and turn to scare his ass off. I went back to sleep. When I woke up, he was sitting on my side of the bed, browsing his phone. This completely startled me that I froze. My best friend is a hard sleeper and she is not noticing the constant pop-ins from her boyfriend. I must have moved, and he turns around and says, "For the past couple of minutes, I was looking at your toes. I like pretty feet, and you have pretty feet." I loudly blurted, "What the fuck did you say to me?" My best friend finally wakes up and she asks what happens. Before I can get a word out, he blabbers off an explanation and she goes back to sleep. I sit up in the same position and just stare at him until he leaves. It's currently 3:36 in the morning and I have not slept. I am afraid for him to come in again. I planned for one more day, but I am highly uncomfortable with this man. I want to book a hotel for my final night, but I don't know how to explain this to my best friend. She's so caught up in the rapture of his that any misgiving I have will be ignored. She's been struggling with depression and he brings her happiness, and I don't want to crush that, but he's clearly a creep and a freeloader. I'm lost on what to do.
Next story.
Okay.
No, I don't even know what to say. First of all, it's currently 3:30 in the morning, so is that true?
Let me get up
on the
and
internet.
write
To you guys this whole rigmarole here at 3:30 in the morning, and now I can go back to sleep. Is there another bedroom in the house? Is she sleeping on his bed and he's so fucking high he forgets and comes in the room and thinks that that's his... Because where's he sleeping?
It sounds like a one-bedroom.
Right.
It sounds like she's in their bed.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And is he so fucking high and drunk that he keeps walking in going...
No, he's a creep.
But where...
I got this lady...
I'm not defending
okay.
him, but I'm saying, where is he sleeping? On the couch?
Yeah, I guess. Or he's not even asleep. He's
I'm
out
just
there
making
fucking
shit
around.
up. Is he supposed to, like... Is he so drunk and high he's coming in? But... She left too many He touched my ass. I fell asleep. Like, what? He was standing over me. I fell asleep. I'm waking your ass up going...
He's rifling through my shit.
Right.
I fell asleep.
All she had to do... My friend's a hard sleeper. But at one point I said, "What the fuck are you doing?" It woke her up. You could tap her.
At that very moment, be like, bro, get your fucking man.
And
He's
tap
standing
right.
here like a weirdo.
And I'm doing dishes. What time did you eat dinner? Like, I'm doing dishes. I fell asleep. He touched your ass while I'm doing dishes. I fell asleep. Was she already asleep? It's 7. I don't know what time
Where
dinner
was the girlfriend when that happened? Because that was another opportunity. He touched your butt. What are you doing?
Exactly. Out loud. That's what I mean. Where's the gap?
It says she runs to the room. Oh, that's where her friend was. She ran to the room where her friend was.
But that's what I'm saying. You're doing dishes. You said I was doing dishes right after she cooked. And maybe you ate at midnight or 1 in the morning. Or how many times did he come in and wake you? Now it's 3. When did you do dishes? At 11? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So many opportunities to say, dude, quit, touching me. And if she has depression, he can't be good for her. And she already told you she's doing everything for him. Like, I can't.
It hurts the brain to try to figure out, like, why all of this continued to happen without you nipping it in the bud. And we've said before, conflict is awkward. You don't even know this man. You don't know what he's capable of. He's drunk, high. Like, you don't know what, like, if you said something wrong, you don't know what he would do. But I would have got my ass up out of there.
This is her good friend, right? Please don't read it all.
My best friend.
My best friend had no idea. Not only was she seeing somebody, but I'm gonna come visit you. Yeah. Do you guys not? How does that happen? I mean, is there not even a text
what is the
once
reason
a week?
for that? Like, your friend embarrassed of him, or embarrassed to show you that she fell in love so quick, or moved in so quick?
Did the pop in? Was she like,
hey, this is Raj.
You know, I can't be without a guy. You know, so what is her friend's issues?
Yeah.
There's just... It's so stupid.
It's stupid, but it really sounds like a traumatic night. Like, I would have been fucking terrified. That's why I wouldn't have let it keep going. One of us would have had to go. And your friend's a hard sleeper? Shake that bitch and wake her up.
And also, there's something wrong with this chick. First of all, like, is she really writing at 3 a.m? I don't know. Okay, fine. But, you know, so... They did the under the table weed deal. Did she buy it? She handed it to him and said, I didn't get a thank you. Like, you needed to take the time to say. Right. So you are so high maintenance.
Just setting the scene that he's an ungrateful prick is basically.
Who cares?
Right. That was the least of your worries. He did all that before he touched your butt.
But that's still in her. I mean, she thought of it. I don't think. Or again, so at 3 a.m, after all this trauma is happening, you're like, oh, let me put a side note so that readers understand. He didn't say.
And again. Didn't even thank me. Right. Drank 2 of my bottles of wine.
Or did you just hand it to him?
It sounds like she might have paid for it. Because,
I mean, we have no idea. They did an under the... Who calls it under the table?
Well, because when were we talking about the girlfriend being broke? That was... Oh, that was after they got back.
About her finances, which to me just means... What's in your purse?
Right, what you got? You got any money so I can head to the store and get... That's probably what she... Right, finances. What's your bank account and routing number, ho?
Like, you live with her. How's your finances? Right, like, how do we pay in rent
what's the 3 digits on the back of your card? Real quick.
What's your mom's maiden name?
Right.
You know, I just
what's your favorite pizza toppings? Because it's asking me this.
What street did you grow up on as a child?
I'm trying to hack into your account, and I need to know.
Damn it! But he asked probably say, "What do you got in your wallet right now?" Nothing. Probably because she bought the fucking weed. Mm-hmm. I mean, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
But the side note at 3 a.m. on, I didn't get a thing. Like, that's it, dude. What? You already know she's well. That's why I think this one's kind of bullshit. I don't know. But while you're writing this, you already know what your main perspective is, you know, about him. But you're going to take time. And he didn't thank me.
So he's just rude is on top of it all.
I just say, you know what? Go home. Let your friend have her life. And when she's concerned, I don't know. I don't care. Because I don't buy it. There's too much I don't buy in this story. You know me, communication, I would tell my friend, right? I would have said, he's touching my ass, he's doing this, but I'm not buying all this. I'd say, you know what? You go home. You popped in. You made the pop. Nobody likes the pop in. Mm-hmm. That's disrespectful. Period. Don't pop in.
Even if you didn't think she was with anybody, you thought she was still a single.
Doesn't matter. Like, don't pop in. You pop in, I'm going to be like, through the door. Oh, there's a hotel. I'm not prepared for, you know, and I got 2 bedrooms that I don't use, right? You don't do the popping.
I'll surprise her and show up. Little to my surprise, she had forged a brand new relationship.
Little to my surprise. Well, and why are you Again, that's the weird thing. Mm-hmm. This is your best friend? Yep. At least once a week. She never told you? Yep. I don't know. This one's sketchy.
So, yes, at 3:36, when the sunlight hits the edge of the blanket, bitch, get up and go home and further not talk to your friend for more time like you did before.
Or maybe just leave and then text her, here's everything that happened. Yeah. I don't want to get in a debate with you. I don't want you to
do what you want. Yep.
You know, she says, why'd you leave? Here's what happened. Yeah. Or hell, read Reddit or wherever the hell you found this story.
Right. Show her your phone.
That's right. See, you want to know why I left? Yeah, send her the link to this. Exactly. I don't need to type it again. Right. Here's exactly that happened. Yeah. And I hope the friend zeroes in on, you didn't buy the damn weed. Why would you get a thank you? But I don't know. A good friend would know and then just tell their friend right there, I'm concerned with you. What is happening? Who's this schmuck? Right? Mm-hmm. I feel like she watched some poor, bad Lifetime movie and is like, oh, this might be one I want to talk about.
I I didn't think it was like fraudulent. I just thought she really just had a couple of screws missing. Like she wasn't like the smartest crayon in the box. Cause like all this keep falling asleep shit. And when you're drunk, sometimes it happens. She said they've been drinking all day at breweries, and then they came home and had a glass. Like there are reasons possibly for continuing to pass out, but not when you're fucking afraid. Like that adrenaline, I've had that. Like that adrenaline keeps your heart, and you get the cold sweats, and you're up.
Right,
you're sober at that point.
He's just staring down at you, and you don't know who this
in the fucking dark. Like, please,
right?
No.
So I'm just curious. Did anybody comment anything to this one?
Oh, you want to see? Oh, you want me
just a couple? Like, I'm just curious.
Let's go down the rabbit hole for a couple minutes. Oh, it's still up. That's surprising. Most people get slammed in the comments and then they delete the whole post because people were like, "What the fuck is wrong?"
And is
with
this
you?
a recent?
Yeah, it was Memorial Day. And I usually don't choose recent ones. I like older ones. People are like, "Update. Can I get an update?" Just go to a hotel and tell her what happened.
It's kind of what we said.
Your friend needs a wake-up call. Even though she has depression, she needs to see her boyfriend for what he is, a user and a loser. Spend the night at a hotel and tell her why. That was one comment.
Okay.
None of this happened. That's what somebody commented.
That's okay. And I swear, right? You're reading this. I don't even know what site you're on. That's where I am.
Somebody said, "Bitch, that didn't happen." Like, stop lying.
That is exactly my first impulse.
And then I would be pissed. Like, I read all of that. And I'm telling you now, that's not a real thing.
That's not a real thing.
Somebody's, again, book a hotel, tell her the truth about why you're leaving.
You know what it is? It's a script for a bad Lifetime movie. And she wants to see what the comments are to see if people are engaged, that she could then send it in. And here's a script for a really bad Lifetime. Well, what happens
this
next?
Could probably take off.
We need you to die. Like, he needs to have sliced you.
Right.
And now
the reason why your girlfriend didn't wake up is because she's already dead next to you.
Or she's dead and you don't know.
Exactly.
Someone has to die. Always in that first 5 minutes, right? That starts the show. And then he goes, finds a new girlfriend. But you're the old ex-good friend that finds him and tracks him. It's not a good show. No.
This man will hurt you and your friend. Tell her everything when he cannot hear, and get out ASAP. Blah, 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 blah. Record. Put your phone on.
Okay, I don't care.
Yada, yada, yada. Yeah. All right.
Sorry,
folks.
look at me. I don't care.
We're so done with that one. Deb, I think your final verdict is you don't believe it's true because it's too far-fetched, but it would make a great Lifetime movie.
No, it would not make it. Yes, and yes, it's very far-fetched, or they're all completely clueless. I'm sorry, folks.
But aren't Lifetime movies trash? Why wouldn't it make a good Lifetime trashy movie?
I would have to
the Hallmark Channel.
That even though, right, that as bad as they are on paper, they sound okay, and this one still doesn't. So yeah, no Lifetime movie. It's fake. And good luck to y'all. And if it's not, on that off chance, then I agree with all those other what I said, right? Just leave, go home.
And then
why do you even have to stay another day? And if she says why, give her a link to this. You don't got to retype it.
Exactly. Next story. So story 3 is titled, "Am I the asshole for giving my mother-in-law a fake copy of my house key and exposing her during Christmas dinner?" Bitch, yes. Expose her. Listen, you're going to love this one. From what I can remember. So she writes, "I married my husband a year ago. His mom is snoopy and annoying as fuck. She can't help it, that is just how she is, as my dear-in-laws say. My husband and I purchased a new house recently, and my mother-in-law kept pushing to get an emergency key. She promised that she would only use it in an emergency, but given the fact that she had an emergency key to our old apartment and walked in on us being intimate twice, I just couldn't trust her. So I just sent her a fake key after she kept pushing, and she had a smug look on her face after I hand-delivered it to her. Days gone by, and on Christmas dinner, or during Christmas dinner, mother-in-law angrily called me out on the fact that I gave her a fake copy of the house key. She shamed me for doing this in front of everyone, but in my defense, I asked her how she found out. And she said days ago, when she came over at 4 while my husband and I were out. I reminded her, didn't you promise you wouldn't use it unless there was an emergency? So you tried to get in when there was no emergency and you broke the promise you made to us? She looked red in the face, and the other family started staring at her, and some even laughed at her for the face she was making. She suddenly got up from her seat and rushed into the kitchen, where she had a huge meltdown so loud the next door neighbors probably heard. Literally, I've never seen a 60-plus woman throw a tantrum like that. Needless to say, dinner went awkward, and my husband and his sister were giving me looks. My husband went off on me in the car and said I lied and manipulated and humiliated and exposed his mom, and said he wouldn't have let me get away with it if he had known that I had given her a fake key. We had an argument, and he is demanding I apologize to his mom for my childish behavior and for ruining Christmas dinner for the whole family. Am I the asshole? But yes, but in a good way.
Right. Right. I mean, you could so see both sides. Right? We've talked about
I can't see the other side.
Well, no. Well, I mean, like the son of the mother, if...
Oh.
I'm just saying, boys are different, right? The sons.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So, well, she could have said, wait, what? It didn't work? Like, when was it tested?
Right. Well, she said that. Well, how did you know?
No. But when the mom said, you gave me a fake key, what are you talking about? I gave you a key. It didn't work. Wait. Yeah, how'd you know? But wait, because sometimes keys, right? I've had keys made where then they don't work. Mm-hmm. What if the key maker made a mistake?
Sure.
That's not 100% that I intentionally.
Right.
Like, that's where I would have had my story already.
Right.
No, yes. Because I don't blame her. I would have done, especially the twice catching them. That's like, what are you doing, right? Because you're coming in thinking either we're not home or you're snooping.
Yes.
And those are moms. Like, I think of, I don't know if anyone watched, I love Raymond, right? With the mom across the street or everyone, right? The nosy mom.
Overbearing moms of sons typically do this shit.
Exactly. And you know what? You knew her going in. I'm not saying what she does is right, but you knew her. So right. I'm with you, right? If you can't, and that's where family dynamic that you can't say, I don't want to give you a key. Because then does that start a family, mess?
Right. And who was she pushing for the key? She was pushing the daughter-in-law. Why weren't you asking your son?
Well, maybe both, and maybe they were having the conversation because I'm sure the son.
But he said he didn't even know that it was a fake key, so he agreed to the key, but then didn't go with her to Home Depot.
Well, I'm sure like the two. It sounds like I hope they have a healthy marriage where, I want a key, and he'd be like, the two of them would talk, and she'd be like, I don't want her to have the key. Gotta have it. What do we do? How do we break it to her? I can't break it to her. Gotta give him out the key. I don't want to get, like, he wouldn't go against her, right? Until she said, okay. And then maybe in her mind, she's like, all right, I'm giving you bullshit key. And told him, okay, I'll get it. I'll give it to her. Fine. Right. I'll make it happen. Because the guy's probably like, please just get along with my mom. I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? Because she's not writing anything bad there about him. So he's probably just like, everything is perfect. Can you just get along with my overbearing mother? So I can see her, but where she failed in her fuckery is have a story. Because even when she's saying that, I'm like, you didn't need to get caught. You could have flat out said, wait, what? What do you mean it didn't? Wait. And still get to, wait, why did you come? Right? Because when she said it was fake, it could still, because what if it, well, if it wasn't, she would have been in the house and they wouldn't have known. But sitting there, Chris, whenever she tried, she didn't tell them. So when she said it at dinner, you give me a fake key. What if she honestly, it was a bad key? She could have been like, what are you talking about? I gave you a key.
Okay, but let's go back to the intentions of I'm the daughter-in-law, for calling me out at dinner. Like, and not understanding that you're wrong. Why did you
say she should have had a plan where she didn't have to get called out? I'm just saying, like, thinking your mother-in-law is going to do what why you got the fake in the first place. Pre-plan, have your story ready.
I don't need no story. Yeah, it was fake. What you gonna do about it? Why do you know it was fake? Come on, Brenda. Tell us why you know it was fake.
You could still do that.
I'm already arguing because you tried to call me out at this whole table. You could have got embarrassed in private, but you wanted to embarrass me by saying fake key.
Right, but I'm still sticking with a lie. Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. As soon as because she's gonna. All right, so wait, you're not wrong.
Just didn't know when.
Right. So, and you didn't know you were going to do it in front of the whole damn family on Christmas. I don't know who all there's, right? But it sounds like a whole big family party. Yeah. So when she says fake key, what are you talking about? Well, it didn't use. She could still then, so you could save yourself. I'm just saying save yourself. Mm-hmm. You could save yourself by saying, I had it made. I guess I didn't test it. Right? But there was nothing nefarious. I was giving you a key. And still turn it back on her where you're calling me out to say, but hold up. And what she did.
Was my house on fire? Or why were you at my house at, I don't know why it says 4. I guess that's PM or AM. Who knows? I just said 4.
Yeah. Okay, so then not lying, to your point.
Yes. Period. Because I want you to know that I know what you think that you know that I know, and when you know it. Yes, we're staring back and forth like, how did you know? Yes, I gave you a fake key. What are you going to do about it? My problem is that you've busted in on us twice. So why would I, in my sound, logical mind, give you a real key? You can't be trusted. I don't even know why we're sitting here right now. Take your dinner to go.
For real. And that's the in-laws.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. So many are always, no, not always, but,
80% of the time.
A lot of time are a problem, right? Where the couple is fine.
Mm-hmm. But you got these outside meddlers.
Mm-hmm. Meddling.
Mm-hmm. And the smug face. Don't forget, I hand delivered you the key and you was like, like you gave me a look. Like, I'm coming in.
Right. But now to the other, like with the son, right? So now he's just probably,
now he's mad.
Well, but can we just keep the peace? Right? And he's not seeing, like, I don't know where they're coming. Why should your mama get to just walk on in?
Exactly.
And he's like, he's probably like, it's just my mom.
And it don't even sound like they have kids. So what's the emergency you expecting from 2 grown-ass adults that you're going to need to come save the day? Not even call the police, the paramedics, the fire department, but you are going to come into the house and help. Like, your 80-year-old ass is going to come into my house and help.
Right.
When there are other, like, authorities that you should call. Before, what need would there ever be?
And when she said, right, what was the emergency? Like, that just shut her down, made her go have her tantrum.
Exactly.
A 60 plus whatever woman have a tantrum.
Yep.
Like, this mom is unstable. Well, there are some mamas that are unstable.
A lot of these stories I'm finding, yes.
But this is probably so the son is probably just like, can we just make peace? Like, he
needs to go over
because
there,
she said they all
peace.
know that they're overbearing, right? You didn't just say that at the top, like, it wasn't overbearing, but she's nosy and everybody accepts it.
She just can't help it. That's what
know. Well, that's can't help being late. Can't help. It's not.
And I can't help that I gave you a fake key. How about that?
No, but I mean, all the excuses people give people.
I know, for behaviors. Yeah, that's
right?
just Uncle Joe. You know him,
right.
Racist, and that's just how he's always been.
That's how they're all, like, you had a story the other time. They're always late. Oh, that's that's not fucking inner. You know what I mean? You're not born with that. Mm-hmm. Like a work ethic or empathy or a psychopath, right? You're not born with gonna be late. Like, were you late at birth? What? Right. She was 3 weeks late. Never since that.
You're not born. Gonna be Snooping.
There's a gene.
She's been Snoopy since she was 2. She's been like, what the hell are you talking about? Right. She's always been nosy.
Right, that's purposeful.
Yeah,
you can control.
That is a personality trait that you have developed and cultivated.
That's right, and you can stop it. Mm-hmm. Or, I mean, is it not killing? I gotta know what's going on in the house. I know they bought something. I heard the other day they bought something.
Gotta check their house. Gotta check their continue watching on their Netflix. What are they looking at?
I gotta get in there. I saw her with a Macy's bag. I don't know what it was.
You are the asshole, but like I said, in the best way.
Right, like I can't call you an asshole. I call you a bad. My take is, you should have forward thought that if you were ever called
confront
out,
it,
just say what. So at least you save yourself, because I don't blame you for what you did.
Mm-hmm. But what are we saving ourselves from? My husband being pissed when he knows that his mama's wrong. I'm fighting with anybody now.
Any aggravation. Just any aggravation.
Yeah.
Whether it's from the husband, whether it's from the mom, the whole family. No one, I'm sure it was not expected to happen at Christmas dinner. Mm-hmm. But any aggravation. Because you can still say, well, wait a minute. How do you, let's go try it.
And while I was reading it, you were shaking your head like, yes, you asked her like right there. Like, well, how do you know? Ho?
Right. Because that's where I was already.
Always like, because people, well, I didn't say anything right then. She did.
Exactly. I was like, thank you. Because, I was already mental blocking. I had to be like,
I know.
Well, if she would have just said. But where I'm saying is where I would have, and maybe this is showing that I'm nefarious, sneaky or planning. Right? That I would already, when I did that, know that when she called me out, because you already expect that she's going to try to get in the house, that I'm just going to play like, wait, it doesn't. Like, I just went to Ace Hardware. I had it made.
I paid $8 for that key. How dare they?
Well, I mean, I stopped at the Ace Hardware by your house. I had it made. I brought it to you. Done. I didn't go home and try it. But wait. So, like, I'm totally saved. Whether I tell my husband later, I did do it, because you would, I probably would. But at that moment in front of at least the mom,
right?
Wait, what? So that she's not, but I can still call you out.
Okay, but I'm going to go a step further and say, so she believes your story that, oh shit, it was just a faulty key. Well, when can you deliver me the real one?
No, because now, but wait, why were you here? And then say, oh. Well, I got to rethink again back to why I didn't want to in the first place. You promise. You can still hit on that.
Yeah.
And say, see, you promised not to do that.
Again.
And you did it. Why were you coming at for?
She probably promised the first time. And then it happened a second.
Well, but I'm saying, but now I'm going to say, well, I'm glad the guy fucked up. Because you know what? 3 strikes.
You're out.
Law.
You're literally out of my house.
Right. We will come to you. It's over. You will come when we invite you, and I am home, and every door will be locked in my house, but where you're allowed to be, right in the bathroom.
And if there is a true emergency, call the police. And we don't need you. Well, what would you help us with?
But we didn't call you. What is the emergency? I didn't answer my phone.
Godly.
Because there wasn't.
No, they were out and about.
Were you hungry?
You goddamn raccoon! Like, what the hell are you
Were
doing
you coming
in my
to make
house?
sure we had enough groceries? I mean, is she the type of mom that I bought something for you and I was going to drop it off?
I gotta see if she's buying the vitamin D milk or the 2%. He loves the 2%.
It's almond.
Right, the almond milk. He's lactose intolerant, Gina. You know it. Gotta get him the oat milk. Like, get the fuck out of my house. Like, for real. So,
and then I'll go back to, you know what, you knew this mom-in-law prior to getting married. Some of this too is you are still the asshole in a good way, but people don't change.
What? And so let's stay on that vein. Your husband has known her all his life. Where's his account? I need you to be the buffer. Like, this is insane.
And
she's done it twice before, and you didn't think it was a big deal then, like.
And he's a grown man, and that's his relationship with his mom, and that's not going to change. Again, you all got to find all this shit out about these mates before you lock the deal. Yeah. Right?
Because while you were courting each other, you were having dinners at his house, probably with his mama, and noticed.
You didn't just meet the mom.
She a little crazy. Like,
right. I mean, how much is his phone blowing up when you guys are out? I'm curious.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. How often are you having family dinners? Every Sunday?
Exactly.
Every Wednesday?
Or, hold on, I got to call my ma.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, people see,
right. Gotta tell her I got home from work.
That's right.
Hi, honey. Sorry. Just on the phone with mom. Like,
again. Just checking with mama.
I ain't seen you all day and you on the phone with your mama. Okay.
Right.
You're the asshole. Yes. But so is your mother-in-law. And so is your husband, quite frankly. Everybody in this story is the asshole.
However,
the people at the table.
we don't condone what you did.
I wholeheartedly do. Wait, what are we not condoning? That she should have had a story? No. Giving the fake key was amazing.
We don't condone the fake key. Right. I mean, we do condone. No, we don't condone it.
Why?
We do condone it?
We do.
No, condoning is bad. We don't condone.
Condoning
Wait, what's
means
condone?
Condoning is agreeing.
Oh, we condone. We are okay. Let me use words then that I know. Yes, we are okay with you giving her a fake key.
We subscribe to that type of petty.
To that. That's right. I am more nefarious that I would have had a story. Yeah. Erica would have just said, "Let's go."
I did it, Ann.
Let's go to the mats.
Yes. Yeah. Let's go to the mats. For real. Like, if there's ever any situation that is clear cut, let's go. Like, let's have this debate. Yep. It's that one. because you were wrong, and this is the third time.
Because then what's going to happen when you what's going to happen when you introduce now your children? You think she's crazy now? Or, sorry, overbearing, maybe
Overbearing.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till you have kids and you're not raising them right.
Exactly.
Which just means in her eyes doesn't mean it's wrong.
I came over to see if you changed their diaper yet. Like, last time I saw them, they were a little wet. Like, what?
Right. Why is she still up at 8 o'clock?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why are you letting her watch that?
Are you breastfeeding? Let's
What's
not
it?
even
Right.
get into
Yeah, okay. We got to stop.
all of that.
I'll be here 10 hours.
Next story. So this story says, I was assaulted by my boyfriend's friend and he did nothing. So she says, I'm in a really bad place right now. Last night I went out to the bar that my boyfriend is head doorman of and had a couple of drinks with him before he started work. His friend walks in and sits with us and is all fun and laughs. But this friend is a little weird. He seems hyper aggressive toward me in the most passive way possible, if that makes any sense. He yells over me or talks down to me, but plays it all off as a joke. He seems to become agitated that my boyfriend is with me and not standing talking to him. He's always given me a weird vibe. I smoked a cigarette and came back into the bar, and they, my boyfriend and his friend, were standing at the bar together. I stood between them where I'd been standing before with my back to his friend, and my boyfriend began to playfully tickle me. I laughed and tickled him back, but it seems his friend got jealous and came up behind me and put me in a chokehold. I'm not delicate, but as soon as his arm closed around my throat, I began to panic. There was so much pressure on my throat, I felt my vision began to narrow, and I went lightheaded. He yelled, "This is for my boy. No one comes for my boy." My boyfriend stood and watched and did nothing. I was only released when I thought I'd pass out and went limp. Then everyone around me was laughing, and I quietly sat down on a seat and sipped my drink. I went on to have a great night. But this morning, I woke up with my throat really sore and tender. I thought nothing of it and carried on with my day until lunchtime when I caught a look at myself in my mirror and saw my throat was black and blue.
I'm sorry, how'd you get ready in the morning? How you not see yourself? Sorry.
I broke down in tears at the sudden memory, and the trauma I feel is unreal. All I keep thinking about is that this man, whose job it is to protect me and who spends most nights looking after random drunks, stood and watched as the person he's supposed to love was assaulted. He watched another man put his hands on me and just drank his drink. I feel so unsafe now. I needed to put this down into words, but I'm so fucking heartbroken and I'm not sure what to do. The end. You think she was assaulted?
So just putting your hands on another person is an assault. Like, let's just throw that out there.
Okay, generally.
No, I do not think she was assaulted. I mean, I'm sorry. Your vision blurred. Like, you would have turned purple. Like,
There was so much pressure, Deb.
So much pressure.
And the lightheadedness.
And then, wait, she faked passing out so that he would let her go?
I was only released when I thought I'd pass out and went limp. I guess she went limp.
That's what I mean. Like, so she kind of pretended she...
I don't know about pretend. Maybe she was on the way out. Like, fuck, who knows?
And then she sat down for a moment and then drank and had a great night. So... I don't know. How do you pick these stories with me? Where do you?
Because I love to get your blood pressure raised just a tiny bit.
I mean, it's just running out of every orifice. The blood.
Is her boyfriend wrong for standing there? Because he probably thought it was a joke, like everybody else did, except her.
So I'm visual, right? Okay, you're in a crowded bar or whatever. He's working the door, so you're near the door. Tickle, 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 tickle. Like
he hadn't started work yet. They were having
so wherever they were standing, sorry, but she said she stood right. Her back was to the
she
buddy.
Slid in.
She slid in. Her back was to him. She's looking at her boy. He tickles her. She tickles him. And then like the chokehold from fucking WWL, whatever that's called. And she's her eyes. And if it's black and blue,
how long did you let him?
Well, that's why it's.
With the power, I would have been punching. Like, it doesn't sound like she was struggling against him. Like, let me get the fuck out. Like, let me go. Like,
or looking at him. Like, I mean, if you're losing vision And you're like, I've never been choked, so I don't want to. But is your tongue hanging out? Like, I don't understand. When you start losing, like, did a blood vessel pop in your eye? I don't know.
You didn't do the 3 taps like they do in the. All right, that's enough shit. I'm
sorry,
tapping
your
out.
face should be in a panic where he would help you.
Right.
If it were, I'm not saying it's not real. And then, okay, wait. So, did she go to work? What happened in the morning? What?
This morning I woke up with my throat really sore, thought nothing of it, continued on with my day until lunchtime.
So, okay, hold on. So this happened the night before. It's not black and blue in the morning?
We don't know if she looked in the mirror, she got dressed in the dark.
Well, right, there we go. Did you walk out naked? You looked at something. Did you brush your teeth? Like,
if I'm staring straight at myself, I don't really see my neck until I go like this. I don't know.
Oh, so she's very heavy and just has a shitload of teeth.
No, I'm just saying.
You said this morning it was sore, so you would remember.
If it was sore, I would be like, oh, why is my
right?
Oh,
so yeah. Till it's black and blue, and then it's like trauma. Like,
wait, but bruises take a little bit to develop sometimes. They take time to, don't they? Like, you don't immediately bruise.
But it wasn't immediate. It's last night. She still had a great time. She went home, went to sleep.
You're not going to let her just have this great time, are you?
It's at least 8 hours later.
Okay,
so the 4 hours from what time do you get up in the morning? Unless her morning's 3 a.m. and 8 a.m. is her lunch. I don't know what the fuck she does. Again, you're reading me fake stories.
I'm not. Do you want to hear from the gallery?
Yeah. Yes, because there's just... there's no... where's my person that just... Tell me, please find the one that says, this story is fake.
No, people are saying her boyfriend is... Your boyfriend is sick. Not only did he fail to do his actual fucking job that he's getting paid for, but he failed you as a partner.
I mean, were you
I'm
kicking?
sorry, if a friend did this to my girlfriend, I'd have to beat his fucking ass. This is gross.
Which is why
press charges.
Which to me is why it's not real. I mean,
you're so this is the second one you're saying may be fraudulent because just the reactions isn't that of a normal person. Like, is that because the way these two women in these two separate stories are reacting to shit happening to them can't be real?
Okay, no, that's a good. So say that to me. That's good. Story before, which I've already put out of my mind. I don't remember what the hell it was. That one is all fraudulent. I mean, I'm sticking with that. Okay, this one I'm not saying it's all made up. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking she's a little high maintenance. Only
overreacting or exaggerating,
right. Exaggerating
the
and totally enhancing because now and again, right? Who the fuck am I? I know I'm nobody. Everybody, I'm just writing this. It's my opinion. I've never been choked out. Knock on wood. Somewhere. Mm-hmm. However, till you're going limp, your what her vision's going. Mm-hmm. He would see this. You're looking
everybody would.
Well, but and if I'm trying to vision where they're standing, her back's to him. They're tickle. He chokes. You're looking right at him. You know, you're standing there. I'm gonna assume you're short. I mean, maybe not. You could be a tall woman, but
you're Macaulay Culkin at this point.
A little shorter than the two of them. Yes. He's getting you to a chokehold. And what is your boyfriend doing which she doesn't say, right?
Stood and watched.
While the vision's going, you must be gurgling. Isn't there a noise? I mean, if you're choking, aren't you like something?
If it's that much pressure, yeah,
right.
There's some gurgles, yeah.
And when you went limp, so when you let go, did you fall to the floor like a rag doll? No, you sat down and had some beer.
And then went on to have a great night.
And now you have, what is it? So your post-traumatic stress syndrome?
I broke down in tears when she saw the black and blue because the sudden memory and trauma.
But when it happened, you had no trauma.
Well, look, that's also delayed sometimes because you don't know how to act in the moment. Do you know what I mean? Like, shock is apparently a thing. I'm in shock. I don't know how.
It is. So I guess I got to think back because, right, when I was held up, right, everyone's like, I can't believe what you did. Like, I had a gun in my face. When I was robbed, years ago. No one could believe like how I reacted. Then later I had my breakdown.
Yeah, that.
But later was in an hour.
Once the adrenaline kind of leaves your body and you're left with your actual thoughts, that's when the trauma kind of arrives.
But where it's different, like you're physically being choked.
Yes.
I mean, don't you, I don't know, again, haven't been choked, but don't you make a noise or show that you're like, I can't. And to your point, aren't you like trying, that's my first thought is, even if it were playful, or it doesn't seem like she ever thought it was playful, just based on he's always giving me weird vibes and being hyper aggressive with me. So she always thought it was aggressive from the start. Fighting back is, to me, like a natural just reaction. Just, I'm pummeling heads, I'm scratching at arms, I'm trying to pull you off of me. And the fact that she mentions that she didn't do that, I don't know if the story is fake. I just think that you're whacked because there's no other, at least that, fight back. I agree.
You're mad your boyfriend didn't fight. You didn't fight for you. Hello.
Right.
You didn't do anything to save yourself.
Or to show.
That this is an actual, like, I'm in distress. Somebody help me.
Because I'm only assuming, sorry, that he's not drunk because he still has to work. Mm-hmm, right? Yeah. I mean, so you maybe had one or two, right? Yeah. 2 beers. Guys won't get drunk. Fine. Mm-hmm. And then you're horsing around. He could think his buddy's horsing around. And if you're not doing anything, but my vision went blurry. Clearly you couldn't breathe. Mm-hmm. If your vision is already blurry, you're not breathing. Right. And then, like you said, where I asked, did she fake go limp, or her body?
It seems like maybe she was about to pass out. I thought I'd pass out and went limp, and so.
Maybe just the weight feeling of her body made her let go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then even at that point, so your body
whip around.
Well, no, but your body went limp. He let go. You would fall
if you had been restricted from air for I don't know how long.
And if your body went limp, you would just fall.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's fake. I don't know. Again,
her anger is directed at the wrong place.
Well, yeah, because he clearly did do something, right? I don't know how bad the choke was. How black and blue are you? And why didn't you turn? Like, I know I would at that moment, no matter how bad that choke out was, knowing that I don't like this dude anyway. Like, get your fucking head, dude, get off me. Like, I'd be right now, get the fuck off me.
Exactly.
Like, words would come out. And then I'd be like, and if he still did nothing, and I'm yelling and doing this, and you were the boyfriend, fuck both of you. Why am I going to stay and have fun? I don't know. What is the PS? Your boyfriend's right there. There's no post-traumatic stress from this.
Yeah. The post-traumatic stress is she says, all I keep thinking about is that this man whose job it is to protect stood and watched as the person he's supposed to love was assaulted. He watched another man put his hands on me. He didn't slap you clean across the face.
I mean, the choking is bad if it were what it was, what she says. Mm-hmm. If what she's saying is true, he's clueless. Yeah. That's clueless. Call the police. You were choked. Go. You have marks. Mm-hmm. If that is true, then go make a report.
Right.
Because if you have black and blue marks, you have witnesses, then go file. And stop, my baby didn't care. I don't have time for people.
Yeah, everybody seems to be on her side in the comments. Take pictures, go straight to the police, then talk to your boyfriend. This is assault, documented. Does your boyfriend know about the bruises? Did he try to play it off as no big deal?
Well, because she did. Guys are sometimes clueless. If you sat for a minute, I don't know how long that period, I shouldn't say a minute, right? Mm-hmm. She said she sat down and then had a good time the rest of the night. Well, he's going to follow your lead too. I'm not saying that that's right? But yeah, you're also your anger. Why is this his fault?
Right. That's the first, like, not even the boy, like, I'm going to come after the friend, but all I keep thinking about is my boyfriend.
Right.
Yeah. Girl.
Go to the police, say this, and then go back to your boyfriend and be like, Dick, I can't believe you stood there.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's another...
That's
later,
a
you
post.
could... If this story said, he took me out, I went to the police, I filed a report, my boyfriend's there the whole time, and did nothing, had a conversation, blah, blah, blah.
Still didn't think it was a
then
big deal.
Then it could be about the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Because you did file a report. But right now, you don't even... Yeah. You don't care
your
that
quip
this
is with the
dude-
friend.
Right.
Yeah.
With the man that assaulted you. And for you folks listening, I am using air quotes with the word assault.
Look,
because I don't buy it.
You know, no, we're not going to get into the believe victims thing. That's not what this is. But we don't really believe in the severity of the chokehold.
Correct.
Or that it was done in an evil fashion. But it could have been. Your first steps are not to go to Reddit. They are to file a police report and to get pictures taken and go to a doctor.
If your post starts with, I was assaulted and my boyfriend's a dick, or whatever what was the...
So I'm in a really bad place right now. Last night I went out to the bar that my boyfriend is head doorman of and blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Next story. So this one is titled, I slept with my girlfriend's mother before we were together. Should I tell her? Is that your initial reaction?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is in short. We have been dating for over 5 months. I'll be meeting the mother tomorrow, and I got a bit of anxiety and searched her family on Facebook and was like, oh crap. I was mainly looking to see how intimidating her brothers were going to be because she warned me about them. Then I noticed the mother on their page. My girlfriend isn't on any social stuff, but Snapchat. So I didn't find out sooner. I hooked up with her mother 3 times in early 2021 over Tinder and Bumble. My girlfriend is 26 and her mom is mid-40s. I'm 38. Anyways, I'm not sure if I should give her a heads up or maybe mom won't even mention it. It was strictly a hookup and no bad terms or anything. She is also a jealous type who didn't like that my Facebook still has exes from when I was in college and live in different states on it. I'm not sure if the mom knows. If she follows her daughter's Snap, then she's had to have seen me. Also, I don't have her mom's contact info. It was only done on Bumble and we never exchanged proper information. Even then, I figure messaging the mom might be a bad or weird idea. Even if I did have that info. I'm really hoping we both just keep hushed, but I know if I don't and the mom says something later, that's pretty bad. I also have a feeling it's something she might not be able to deal with if I'm honest. The end.
Does it say if the mom is married? Is there a dad? Is there...
I would assume that the mom is single and she's on dating sites.
Okay, we're going to go off that. Okay.
Yes. I hope she's...
We're going to assume...
mid-40s and single.
Single. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is another Lifetime movie, first of all.
It's a small world after all.
It's a script that's being turned down by Lifetime.
Stop it.
As we speak.
Stop
I think I saw this one last week. Like opening scene.
Should
guy
be.
Man and woman having sex. 5 months later, this couple. Oh, it's the guy with some nice girl. Blah blah blah. Go take some home to dinner. Da na na. I know you. And then
very intimately.
And then, and then anarchy. Like I don't know who's murdered.
Why didn't you tell me?
There is an ex. Anyway.
Should he tell his girlfriend?
Well, yes, and it's been 5 months, and just deal with whatever the fallout is.
I agree.
I think that's the easy answer.
I agree.
You got to listen. I want a Snapchat. I was worried about your brothers. You said right there. What I just want to see who I'm dealing with. I looked at your not your account, but Snap. I saw your mom. It was before we were together. If that's all true, right? Mm-hmm. It's before we were together. You knew. I told you. I assume. Or whatever. I don't know how much they've talked about the past, but maybe you could say. You knew I was on Bumble and the twin. What is it?
Hell, maybe that's how he met her.
Maybe that's how he met her, right? And I've had relations, and yeah,
it was just 3 times.
Happen. I mean, if she doesn't like it, then it is. What do you see as your future? What
do you see as your future? Because if you think that you're going to keep hush about it and just continue silently
forever,
and then you get really serious and you get engaged, and like the woman whose vagina that you've seen is going to be in your life
forever.
At some point, somebody's going to say something. Like, that's why he's worried. Like, what if her mom says and then I choose not to?
And
then
then
I
there's
look bad.
kids and 20. Just say it now. If she's not, I mean, and I could see her not, but that just is.
You can see her what?
Like leaving. Yeah. I don't know. That's just really weird, right?
Yeah, I would.
I don't know. It's just odd. I mean, now I've already been with him. You were with my mom. That's Mom. What the fuck are you on to? I didn't even know. I mean, who knows what that's gonna wake up in that family? But
right, or you're the guy that she was talking about.
Right. Excuse me. Yeah, exactly. I could see. I get, like, his makes sense. I don't want it, like, shit, do I? Because it's not just this one meeting.
Right.
Or you could wait and not to tell. Like, if he wouldn't have looked at Snapchat, he would just walk in.
Yeah.
So he could at least say, you know what? And tell her after. Mm-hmm. And if the mom or, because you have to after. If you don't want to say you looked at it before, I'd be okay with, I know you sometimes think lie. I'm just admitting or whatever.
No, I tried to tell the truth about the key. You wanted to lie. So is this an opportunity? Well, I don't know where the dinner is, a restaurant or somebody's house, but could you find a little time with the mama? Like get her alone and be like, hey, it's me. It's me from 8 months ago. What we gonna do about this?
Well, because I still don't think it should be a secret, because I do those hang, but right, just be like, we gotta tell her.
Yeah.
Like, does she know? To your point, right. Yeah. So, okay, yes. Don't tell her before, not as just go. Mm-hmm. Maybe when mom goes to go to the bathroom, or if it's at the house, goes in the kitchen, I'll help. Mm-hmm. Get in there and be like, I really like your dog. If you do. So first even think about, where do you want this to go?
Right.
Are you just fucking around and having fun?
Right.
Because if that's the case, then don't ever say shit. Who cares? It'll come out someday, or you'll break up with her before. Who cares? But if you care, it might still fuck up, but it's going to come out. So nip it now.
Right.
And I think
get on the same page with the veg.
Well, right. Because then you're even trying to help. You're trying to break it to the daughter, maybe gently, or your girlfriend, mm-hmm. because she know her mom. What would you do? You found out like years ago. You find out your mom's on Twitter just banging around, not just dating. Like maybe she's on apps,
right?
But that she's just banging around something,
just slanging that thing,
slanging the thing. Is that what you said? Slanging? I never heard that one, but yeah. He wasn't worth it. Oh, but I did fuck him. But mom, I don't want to know. Mm-hmm. Right?
Right.
So, yeah, like find out from the mom. Does she know?
Well, okay, so what is he saying here? She follows her daughter Snap and she has had to have seen me. That's presuming. Say, like when you knock on the door or the restaurant, wherever, and they open, and both of you are like, because you're fake. Hers is gonna be real.
Well, but he didn't say he said if she does, she might also
if she
know.
follows her daughter,
right? He's in the same way. He don't know if she's gonna be like, oh. But either way, even if hers is fake, and you can also be like, but then she doesn't see it. Nice to me. Still corner her and be like, yes, we got to tell her.
You have to get.
But I don't want to. More importantly, mother and daughter. Like you could come from a place where. What does she know about you? Mm-hmm. Like, I can be the dick. I'll be out of her life. There'll be another man. I'll be forgotten. Exactly. What does she know about you?
Yep.
So, I'm going to...
So, what do you think? So now the mom and the boyfriend are on the same page about telling her. Who's telling her? Is this honey, your father and I mean, your stepdad and I mean, your boyfriend. You have something to tell ya. Like, what does that conversation look like? Oh, it's so messy. Do not say hush. I know that's your original question. Should I tell her? Yes.
Who said hush? Oh, it's got to be a guy. At the end,
he's like, I'm really hoping we both just stay hush.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, again, what do you want out of it? I mean, is she just right now I care about her. I don't see her as for a future or the wife, but like I do care, and I am having fun, and I'd like to continue to see her for now.
Right. I don't want to blow this up.
Then hush it, because if you don't see it for the future, then see, and if it does blow, you didn't have a future. In not that you want to marry, but where are you with this person right now?
5-6 months, sometimes that, the L word has been thrown around. So do you love her and you want to stay with her? You can see yourself with her. See yourself with her and her mama.
Maybe they're into that. Maybe they're into maybe mom and maybe you say that.
Twofer.
Maybe mom and the daughter say, "Hey dude, come here. We want to tell you something." Maybe how did they meet? Maybe the mom was like, I banged him, but he's not for me.
Yeah.
But I think you'd like for him. You, so hit him up on this app. Maybe mom fucking introduced. And maybe you're the only one in the dark.
Right. They're like Venus flytraps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what story was that with Jennifer Love?
No, this could be Jennifer Love Hewitt.
It was like the mom and the daughter. They were like...
Oh, Sigourney Weaver.
Yes.
Well, when I was saying trap them, I'm getting into Get Out. Stay out of the sunken place, dude. They're trapping you. I don't know what's... Come here. They're going to mix up a little tea. And
because quite frankly, the mom is still mid-40s. She could be popping out babies. You don't want to mess
That's right.
babies by both these women.
And, I mean, if you liked her enough to... Like, who didn't want to... Who...
Right. Why was it just a hookup?
Right. Her or him. Because now you kind of know where the daughter's going to maybe look like. Some people look at them, right? Yeah. Oh, your mom, you're going to age nicely.
Look, you got the inside scoop, my guy.
Yeah.
You know everything about this DNA.
I don't know, they could be trapping you. She might already know. Well, no. So she might not know. No, she might know. They might be inviting you and be like, oh, we're going to
come into our lair.
That's right. In our web. They're going to shock the shit out of you and crawl over. Oh, buddy. I think you need to be careful. This could turn anyway. I don't know what's going to happen. Oh, is this a recent?
Yeah, in the last month.
Well, so did he go to dinner?
Update. He's not saying anything.
Are people writing?
He's driving people nuts. Like, this thread is so full.
Because people want to know, right? What happened? Mm-hmm. And he's not updating?
No.
Fucking Lifetime movie. We've been had.
You think we've been had?
Seeing if people are engaged. I just gave you the premise.
Somebody's primary concern is, why are you going after someone 12 years younger than you, nasty?
Oh, that's not... Again. That is not... Oh, wait, for the mom?
Just the age gap alone. No, because he's 38.
And she's...
in her 20s. And the mom was mid-40s.
So she's 26.
So he's closer to the mom's age.
She's 26 if he's 38. Mm-hmm. That is not a big fucking deal, people out there in the world. The ones that write this are these young millennials who are right now 12, which shouldn't be reading these posts anyway. Yes, I hope you're hearing me. 12 years is not a big goddamn deal once you are an adult.
Right.
So you tweens who are like, oh, they would be in 3rd grade. These are not people in grade school. Once you're an adult in the business, the age is irrelevant.
Right. She hasn't even gotten her first bra yet. What are you doing?
Exactly. She did pee. Jeez, oh, Pete, these are not...
Stop
And it's not Saggy Ball's age. It's not like he's 80. Right? I mean, we're not like gross area. She's 40, 28. He's right in the middle.
That's actually what gives me more of your plot. Like me leaning more towards that, because he's so much closer to the mom's age. Like, they're peers, and then here comes along this mid-20s like hot smoking thing. Like, the mom put you up to, like, are y'all trying to trap this man? Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if it's not a plot, just the fact that it might be real life, like these two hot women are trying to...
Right, because our moms are older, right? They're past the technology stuff. They're trying. They try. God bless them. They try. My mom, not so well. Anyways. But I don't know that I could have... If I were in this era where my mom is 40 and I'm 20, we're both like, oh, did you get it? I don't want to know that you're looking on...
Even at your mid-20s?
I don't know about my mom.
Right. I mean, you don't want to know even when you're a full adult.
about my mom sleeping around.
When you're at your best friend status at that point, you're just no longer mother daughter. It's kind of like,
I don't want to know about my mother having one night stands on Tinder.
Okay,
you do?
I mean, I wouldn't. If she said it, I'd be like, Ma, go get him. Like, I wouldn't be like, ew, Ma, that's gross.
Well, I don't know. I'd be ill. Well, yeah, I would be. That's actually perfect.
I know. Don't I know? I know. That's you.
That's perfect. I'm up.
No.
Zip it up. Stay home. I don't want to hear about that. I'd be turning off Wi-Fi. All right. I want an update on this one.
I will keep you updated, but there's nothing right now. It's all everybody saying, ew, you're too old for her.
No, that's not true. 38 to 26 is not a gap.
If anything, why does she want you? It's clear why you would want her. Period. Next story. So story 6 is titled Complicated Issues with My Ex and My Mother.
What's with the mom issues? Okay.
I'm 33 years old. My ex-husband is 43. We have 2 kids, ages 9 and 10. We divorced 5 years ago, but continue to live in his large house, bought and paid in full by him before marriage, as roommates with benefits. It's more convenient for both of us and the kids. I'm not working. He provides. No child support. 50-50 custody. 50-50 custody? You live in the same house. Anyway, 6 months ago, my mother had a stroke and I left to take care of her. She's about 800 miles away. My ex told me that he can take care of the kids for a few weeks, but now, as it has already been 6 months, he says that he is going to file for sole custody and child support. He's saying that my mother's stroke is not his problem, that it's not his fault that my brother is not helping, and that he is not going to put his life on a shelf for my mother. That is, that he is not an idiot to solely pay for the kids' expenses while there is a living and able-bodied mother. He is not okay with my mother moving with him, as they had very bad relations before. I cannot leave my mother, but I cannot also pay child support as I'm not working because my mother needs 24/7 care. What can be done in this situation?
He's a dick.
To the utmost degree.
He is a dick. He lost his benefits.
And now he don't want his life put on a shelf. His life put on hold because you're not around to give him that thing.
And it's not due to, I would even say like a work reason, which would even be valid. But her fucking mother had a stroke. 6 months
the grandmother of your kids, by the way.
By the way, he's 6 months is not a long time. I mean, really, in the scheme of things, right? Like with the stroke, and it's your mom, and you got to figure out like how long is she in the house? Is she in rehab? Like, what are you doing? Are you becoming her permanent caregiver? Because if you are, it's so he's a dick. But like, it doesn't. Is that enough time to get all your stuff? What is your plan? Right? But just after 6 months, if he's like, okay, I'm just done and I'm going to go file.
Yeah. And I don't know about those interim conversations. So it's not like she disappeared for 6 months into a black hole and I hope you've been talking to her. To your point, Deb, okay, I'm here for you. I'm so sorry, but I got the kids, I got them covered, but what's your plan? Like, what's our plan?
Right.
Because I get the stress and the sadness and everything else of dealing with your mom over there. But I also have 2 kids and I'm playing single dad right now. Like, we need to talk about what that future. Do I need to help you pay for a nurse or somebody like?
Well, and he shouldn't. He shouldn't.
Honestly, but it would be the nice thing to do.
Why? They're divorced. He's done enough.
Yeah.
He bought the house. He's letting her live for free. Although for free because that's who takes care of the kids during the day. She said she doesn't work.
Yep.
So she's clearly, they're old enough. They're in school all day, at least in the winter or school season, right? But then summer, she's home. She probably cleans. She probably cooks. She does all the wifey duties.
She's working.
Or sorry, it doesn't have to be a wife. That sounds really bad because men do it today too. So she's doing the home caring, right? And raising the kids. Now she's away because of her mom. So now, okay, so just trying to see his point of view. For 6 months now, he doesn't have anybody taking care of the kids, so he has to expense if it's summer,
like childcare or something,
right? I mean, 9 and 10, should they be able to be home alone?
I don't know, maybe.
I guess I don't know where you live, or how. Who knows?
Yeah, I guess 9 and 10 is old enough. Yeah.
And if there's been someone there, like the mom all the time, maybe they're not just ready yet, or to get used to it. But there is nobody there, right? Where he has work, and then nobody's cooking dinner. Nobody's cleaning, or you know what I mean, and
homework and all that other stuff,
right? And who knows what his, if it's a big house. She said it's a nice big house that he paid for.
Maybe he's got an important job,
right? So maybe he has gone a lot of hours. Is he a lawyer, doctor? I don't know. I'm not gonna make shit up, but so there are now additional expenses and responsibilities he didn't have, because aside from the. We assumed the benefits were just sex, but maybe the benefits were also all the house stuff. Mm-hmm. So now he doesn't get if sex is part of it.
And I'm assuming she's eating. So
right.
He's buying groceries and food and all her snacks and meat and everything. All that stuff gets expensive.
And a roof and a car and
gas. And I don't know what I thought. The first thing I thought was like when she's at her mom's house, and I'm assuming like 24/7 care, like. Our moms, I don't know, on like Medicaid, like they have some type of insurance, right? But how are you eating over there? Mm-hmm. Like, is he sending you like allowances so you can buy food or?
Right.
Because you have no income unless you have a savings somewhere. Like, how are you providing for yourself over here?
And maybe her mom had money. Does she have Social Security coming in? I don't know, right? So she's living off her mom right now. Okay, wait, lady, no, but. But 6 months, so I'm taking maybe a little bit back my dick, but 6 months doesn't seem...
Well, he's a dick for the hoe. That's not my problem. And I want soul custody. Like, taking it to a legal, petty, like, what I'm dealing with over here. I'm not with my boyfriend for 6 months. I am caring for my mom. Mm-hmm. And I would hope that even though we're exes, we were once in love, we have kids, I would hope there would be some empathy from you to understand what I'm dealing with.
And maybe there was. So, like, again, wait, are we missing gaps
His
in
time
what has...
Maybe there was empathy at first, but he's like, bitch.
No, but what else has been said? Like, is she just like, I have no idea.
The plan.
I have to take care of my mom.
Plan?
I have no idea. Well, when are you going to get an idea? Mm-hmm. And sometimes now you're out of state. I don't have time to have 50-50 right now. I mean, right? If I need to make decisions... Mm-hmm. Do I have to rely on you to say yes as well? Like, where are you? When are you coming back? And if she's like, I don't know, then I got to take care of my kids. Right. Like, he might be being responsible. Mm-hmm. We don't know.
Maybe trying to protect himself and the kids so he doesn't get taken advantage of, because who knows what he's thinking about.
Right, because
she's
you are exes. He owes you shit.
Mm-hmm.
On toast. and you owe him the same, right? So the fact that, and whether it was for himself as well, like, clearly, I don't know, some people, right? They're great pre-marriage. They get married. They're awful. They divorce. They're friends again. Like, that paper makes people insane.
Yep.
I don't know what it is, right?
Yep.
But or you're both are being kind. Like, you're living there. You even say, she says, he lets me, right? Mm-hmm. Now you're doing stuff for that, but you get free room, board, all this stuff.
And then what part of this is, the way that he feels about this whole situation and how I would call him cold, like how cold he is about it, is because she mentions he's not okay with my mother moving in with him or us, as they had very bad relations before. So he's like, let that bitch die. Like,
well, I don't let that bitch die, but I don't blame him. Maybe she's like that in-law with the key. And this is, fuck that, flip it with the daughter. But no, seriously, he owes, listen, I'm not married to you. You're not my family. We made kids. I want to take care of my kids. Mm-hmm. Make sure, if you're okay, I'll do what I can. Here you come on, blah, blah, blah.
But here's this other third party.
I'm not bringing your mom. I hated your fucking mother, and maybe you always knew that.
Yep.
Not let her die, but not my problem.
Yeah.
It's not his problem.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were ever married doesn't make it his problem.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. Because on the flip side, right? Some woman shouldn't have to pay now for, I'm not married to you anymore.
Right.
And even if you are married, that's a contentious sometimes. My mom needs to move in. Find a nice place for her. Mm-hmm. I don't want to put my mom in a home. I want to take care of her. Well, then you got to figure out what you're going to do.
Yeah.
But she's not living with me.
Right.
That's fair.
I think it's fair too. Like, I keep going back to the planning. Like, so if something happened, you know, strokes come out of nowhere, and then you've got to head over there and you got to do what you got to do. But time is ticking, and I'm sure your mom sleeps. So at what point are you planning for? And I haven't heard you say, I miss my kids. I haven't heard you say, hey, bring my kids to me so I can visit, or I can visit you, or
right.
It seems.
Well, and yeah, if she, and it sounds like she and that's very nice of her to be the caregiver for her mom. Mm-hmm. I hope my mom's not listening because it ain't happening. But it's very, you know what I mean, that she wants to do that. But you have to now make choices. So see what Medicare, what money, you know, there's always places to put. It's sometimes not the best, I get, right?
We're not going to Shady Pines.
We're not going to no Shady Pines. Well, I don't know, right? Those aliens maybe, you know, made him, but do what you got to do. But that's not him. That's not his. So I think we're missing some of it, like where the plan is. So I take back he's your first
initial. Well, it's called relatable reaction. So that was very relatable. After off the jump, like, well, he's a dick, until we start to work through it. Like, think of what he's dealing with. Like, and let me tell you, one kid is enough. But if you got two and a full-time job, and you used to have a whole able-bodied person here, and now they're gone.
Who did all the maintenance.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's okay. I mean, they clearly had the agreement, right?
Yep.
I mean,
it's just
I don't got to work
for us and the kids. Okay. Well, right. There's a convenience fee.
you had the marriage without the paper. I mean, just, you know, you were living, I'm sure things got along fine. It sounded like it was great.
Attachment or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. You should have had a plan. He's very cold. He has dickish ways, but I wouldn't say he's a complete and utter.
And 6 months can be a while now. If you think about
January to now
has been, you know, what are you going to do? I don't know. I got to figure it out. Or she just had the stroke. How is she? I don't know. You know, maybe
or are you
through all that.
communicating at all? Hello, like. Or you just over there in that black hole and not worrying about the dynamics of your whole. You got two kids,
right? Because like maybe the call came whenever it came, right? And Mama had a stroke. I gotta go. Mama had a stroke. Oh my God, go! I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
him.
Okay, so calls the next day. How is she? I don't know. Like they're still blah 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 blah. So maybe 2 weeks later. Okay, so the left side is weak, or the right. So you slowly. She needs therapy. Okay, or someone needs to be, or she can't talk, or what is right?
What is the progression of all
right?
Yeah.
And now, so what is so at some point by now you should know. And it sounds like one of them was, I want to bring her to your house. Right? And he's like, all right, kids are mine. You're fucking out. We've tried this.
That's your only solution after 6 months of thinking about this? Well,
because you should have known from I've been knowing you and married to you that woman's not living in my house.
Yeah, it's really none of his business. His sole priority at this point is himself, his kids, maybe you, make sure that you're still living and breathing. But when it comes to the third party mama, and there are programs, aren't there programs like where you could be compensated for being a caregiver? So you need to look into those. I feel like she's not doing anything. But when it comes to caring for an ailing parent, and even you know, like your mind, like you're consumed in that sometimes. So maybe she can't even think. Like there's an able-bodied parent over there with my two children. I have to focus on this. I might be losing my mom, kind of thing. Like,
but his life can't stop.
Right. That's what he said. I can't put my life. He's not putting his life on a shelf for my mother. Those are facts.
That is.
It's tough.
Yeah. No. Yep. Nope.
You need to figure out what you're gonna do.
Right. What's your plan? Because you got two kids that
you.
I don't want to assume you're not reaching out or you're not. It sounds like,
but you didn't.
You're trying to say, bring mom here. You know, maybe she's young enough where you weren't ready for the stroke, so you don't have a plan. But you know, now you're like, I don't know. All right, no, you can't do that. But figure, maybe maybe she calls every day and talks to them, right? We don't want to act like she's not a good mom, right?
Yeah,
she might be calling every day. How you doing, right? And blah blah blah. But in the meantime, he's going. Like, there's a pile of laundry. No, I don't know.
Look, it's probably y'all's.
My dungarees.
It's not my laundry, so go ahead and do that laundry. I'm not even there.
I got no dungarees tomorrow. Your kids are walking around in the underwear and they think they're homeless all the time.
Kids at school are starting to tell them they stink. What are you going to do about it?
Right.
I'm overwhelmed.
She's got 6 pigtails. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with this kid's hair. What's happening?
Yeah, she's got a gum stuck behind her ear and I don't know what to do. We're in shambles.
That's right. They're like, Mom knows. I'm not Mom. Yeah.
Or maybe they're crying every day, bring my mom home. Where
That's
is she?"
right.
That's a tough situation.
It is. I do. Yeah.
yeah.
I feel bad for both, but you know what? He's not family.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's been letting you stay there, even if you do those extra, because the benefits again is sex, which benefit both of you. That's not just him. That's you too, honey.
Yep.
So if you're doing those extra stuff, then you're paying for your rent. So that's not
that's room and board, honey.
it's seriously, why should you live free? You're not married.
Right.
So
and think of the expense if he had kicked you out and made you get on. You would have been working by now, honey. Or maybe, I don't know, alimony. That might have been in his favor too. Like, if I keep her here, I don't have to give her nothing. Like, who knows?
Well, or maybe she was going to move near her mom, and he didn't want his kids 800 miles away.
Yeah.
So live here. I'll let you live. You know what I mean? Who knows when the benefits started that? But keep the kids here. Then they don't change school districts.
Yep.
You don't upset their whole life. But maybe she said something about, can mom live there? No. Then I'll bring the kids here. So he's like, I'm getting.
That's where the custody came from.
Now I'm going to do this, because what if she made mention of, I'm going to stay here, the kids will come here. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no, there's more to this.
Yeah, and I hate that.
I
just wish there was a little bit more into like what your conversations have been like over these 6 months, because you should have had a plan by now.
I feel that I'm hearing it. I feel that part of the plan was, mama come by you. No, kids come with me. Oh, so now she's not telling us that. Mm-hmm. I just think it's being omitted. Yeah. Now he's going for full custody. Did you ask to bring the kids? Because he's like, But then,
but she can't pay for it right now, even if you took it. Well, courts and things take time.
But maybe she did. Maybe the mama has money. We don't know.
We don't know nothing.
Maybe mama has money. Maybe she is filing to be the full-time caregiver, and the kids can live there in this shitty little double wide. I don't know why I go there.
We don't like grandma's house. It's dusty. No.
It has walls like the garage door.
It's just planks.
That's right.
All right. Next story. So the next one is titled, "New Coworker is Antagonizing and I Need Urgent Advice." Sorry, it's not going to be urgent. It might not even be advice, but here we go.
That's what we're here for.
We have a new coworker with the business I work for who has come in and tried to dominate and challenge our systems. She has questioned several coworkers' integrity to their responsibilities without full knowledge of what their roles entail. She's been on the team for a few weeks and has been undermining and questioning the work ethic of the trusted staff who have been with the company for years. Several coworkers have expressed uncomfortability around her because of this antagonizing approach toward the company culture. The antagonization is directed primarily toward the males, which has been witnessed and confirmed by other females. It is not limited to males, however. Female coworkers have also been uncomfortable by her critiquing and suggesting and dominating style. One day, she also decided to work in a different department without notifying or asking her scheduled department leader if that was okay. Our boss wants a consensus from the staff on what we'd like to do about this situation. My problem is, she has been my friend for years.
Oh, Lord, there's always a twist.
My problem is she has been my friend for years, and I was the one who brought her on board. I was not aware of these workplace behavioral tendencies, though. I feel bad she has affected our company and coworkers, and I also feel bad that the way she has treated me, my coworkers, and the business may get her fired from a new job she says she loves. I had one conversation with her about how things she said to me in the workplace felt disrespectful and presumptuous. She didn't apologize. She said I needed to take a look at myself to learn about why she may have said such things. Since then, I've learned about more coworkers who have been harassed. Advice needed. Does she deserve a conversation from the boss on what needs to change, or will this problem only get worse as she gets more comfortable and it's best to let her go now? The end. I can't believe you was even asked. Y'all got together and was like, what are we going to do about Brenda?
And did it say that the boss asked them to do that the way she wrote it?
Our boss wants a consensus from the staff on what we'd like to do. I've never heard no shit like that.
Exactly. Well, that's why I want. And the company, like, she's impacting the company. What is it?
The
one
company
building?
culture.
What company? I know we don't know. I'm just saying.
Deb is rubbing her forehead in agony.
Do we need to
stressed.
give visuals? I'm stressed. Every orifice has blood. The eyes are bleeding. The ears are bleeding. I mean, this is your friend, right?
Yeah.
People don't have... For years. Yeah?
Yep.
So... All of a sudden, she's a domineering bitch, but was she quiet and friendly?
I was not aware of her workplace behavioral tendencies.
Well, what is her out of the workplace behavioral tendencies? Is she
Does she
quiet?
verbally abuse you on the regular? Like,
Right, is she a meek little mouse normally? Like with friends, but in the workplace, you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Right. Well, there's the code switching that some of us are known to do. Like, we're one way outside and we're one way on the inside.
But you're usually the domineering asshole outside of work.
But sometimes when you're at a new company, you feel like you got to prove yourself. Because what's funny is she said that most of her antagonizing is toward the males. Mm-hmm. So she's trying to be like, you're not going to push me around kind of thing.
Well,
and try to establish dominance.
Before we say too much, look in the comments and see if anyone asks what kind of company or give us any more background.
You're not supposed to be getting no background.
I want a little more background.
What do you think? Should she be canned or should she be talked to and coached?
Well, first of all, I could give a shit what kind of manager says, so team huddle up. Let's make sure that Joyce isn't here today or she doesn't start till later. Or was it a private email? But whatever. Huddle up. Vote yes or no. And here's an email. I want to vote. If we keep her, vote yes. Reply with yes. No. What kind of consensus? Oh, that's why I want to know what kind of company this is. But anyways.
No, it just says execs, and it just seems like an office. I don't know. There aren't many comments.
Okay.
But she does talk a lot. Like, she responds back. People are saying cut her loose. You already tried to give her a warning and she didn't heed it, so bye.
So here's the deal. Like, part of what I heard at the beginning till it went on was like maybe the people that are there and in place right now don't know what they're doing, and here comes somebody that has experience and is, questioning, and maybe they have better practices.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have the best practices in place. Yeah. And if you've all been there for years and that's how we've always done it, that's not always the way to go.
That part.
However, if you are the newbie, shut your mouth. Don't walk in and tell them they all suck. Mm-hmm. Watch it. Mm-hmm. Or what,
observe.
Thank you. That's the word. Observe. Do your part. See what they're doing. You're not the boss either. So let's be clear.
And you weren't hired to like restructure and reorganize. It doesn't seem like.
Well, I don't know. Like, who knows what Well,
that's what she said.
Well, right, but who knows? Like in the interview, unless again it's a consensus. Hey, everybody. But in the interview, maybe say we don't have the best practices in place. You have this experience. Maybe you can come in and help. You don't know what was said. But again, come in though and observe. Monitor. Get acclimated with the way they currently do business, and then slowly recommend.
That's what I was going to say. There's a diplomatic way to kind of maybe report, take notes, document what you've been observing, and then kind of slide that to your boss and be like, so I've been here for, about 3-4 months. And I just think there's some better ways we could do things. What it sounds like is she's fucking terrorizing everybody.
Right.
And so like, you're inadequate. You get
Well, that just, why the fuck you doing it like that? Like, you know what I mean? Don't come into someone, don't just start today and tell them they all suck.
Exactly.
Even if they do.
Right.
What are you, you're not going to win anyone over there, right?
Exactly.
And you want to slowly just observe, and then report. And you don't even, that like what you said is one way. Mm-hmm. It's just fine. Well, and maybe it's not even going to the boss. You could just sit with your peers and say, after you see maybe for a week of whatever they're doing, processing, billing, and AP, I don't know what, say, okay, I get it. I said, hey, can I do it like this? What do you think of this way? Or, hey, look, I tried this. And they'd be like, oh, that's a great idea.
Exactly.
You know, or if they say, no, it has to be this way where you know it
because
doesn't.
there's some, or maybe there's just systemic limitations to why it can't be done as fancy as you would do it. Maybe there's some technical limitations, and then you figure that out, and you're like, oh, okay, but this thing, like,
right, so exactly.
I feel like, and I don't know, have you ever worked with someone like that's like someone who comes in new and they may be an exec, and so you're like, oh shit, like everybody got their own way of working, their own way of doing. What are you gonna change, like? And sometimes you see those things kind of roll in slowly, and maybe not, you wouldn't even notice that they're different, but somehow some stuff got changed around. But this,
right, when it's your exec peer,
critiquing, dominating, challenging, undermining, like those types of, what is it, adjectives? Shit.
Attributes?
Verbs?
Oh, the words you're saying, they're adjectives.
What, those type of descriptors?
Why are you asking me? I'll have to go back to Schoolhouse Rock.
It's just a bill. No, not
the
that.
bill. Get your adverbs here.
No, but those types of descriptors, like, and I don't think you're exaggerating. If she came in the door like a wrecking ball, so much so that everybody's like, wait a minute, we need a meeting.
Right.
Like she is setting y'all's hair on fire in there. I don't know.
Well, and okay, like I know you
can save her
for years, right, Erica? So now what I would say, we did the same thing, you know, so I'm somewhere, oh, you need a job, you go, all of a sudden you're this domineering, crazy person. What the fuck are you doing? And I'm watching there. I'm going to pull you aside and say, what is the matter with you? And you're going to say to me, check yourself. What? Excuse me? I mean, I know
there was a reason I told you that. Maybe you should look inside.
Right. And I'm going to be like, maybe we should step outside? Exactly. What, are you kidding? What are you... So what was her... Right? How did she reply to that? Wait a minute. I know you. What the fuck is your problem?
She didn't apologize. She said, she didn't say what her response was to that, but she didn't heed like you literally were trying to help her. Like, hey, pump the brakes a little bit. Like people around here they're trying to have your head on a swivel. And she's like, oh, that's just, sorry. I'm not going to stop being mean.
See, and that's the problem too. Again, I don't know. This doesn't sound like a whole big organization, but who knows? But once you it's like a squatter, right? Once you let someone in the door,
it's so fucking hard to get them out. It's like an eviction. You have to do
if you're
pips.
not within those 90 days,
yes,
you're
it becomes a game with HR of documenting performance improvements,
and it better always be the exact same thing. Otherwise, right? Because you need 3 instances typically, 3 instances of that behavior. So, okay, I'm going to get them for tardiness. Well, they were tardy once. Now they're an asshole. Oh, that's 1. You could have 1 of 50,000. Exactly. You need 3
of the same.
Of all, right?
You need a
or not all
tic-tac-toe.
50,000, but you need 3 lates. They're not late again. They're not late. Oh, they're an asshole. Nope. That
and
one was this
sometimes
one.
they know that shit. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna stop at 2. I'm gonna move on to something else. I'm gonna stop at 2.
That's
move
right.
on to something else, yeah.
Or even 1.
There's a game.
I got so many things. I know I can fuck around. Then they're going home. They're keeping their own Excel spreadsheet. Exactly. I did tardy once. No, I'm in this one. No.
Or I've been tardy twice. I better slow down.
That's right. I highlight tardy in red. No more being late. What's next? Yep. Because it without then, right, lawsuits and everything else to deal with. But so she's probably past the 90 days already. If not past 90, drop her. You're safe, right? You're allowed to get rid of her.
It says she's been on the team for a few weeks.
All right. So in 90 days, because the other issue is, let's even think that, okay, you know what? She's domineering. You're all maybe meek and don't like it. But
you don't like being challenged.
That's right. And maybe your old processes do suck in what I said, right? And you're all, this is how we always did it. Maybe she has good ideas and you all just don't like her.
Yep.
Could be ganging up. Let's flip it that way. However, the other issue is if they have a cohesive team, I mean, unless they're trying to blow out, like management wants to get rid of all the old and bring in new. We've seen that, right? But if you have a cohesive team that you want to remain and just make better, you bring in that one blueberry that everybody hates. Blueberries don't good blueberries don't make a bad one better.
Yeah.
They make the others go bad.
Yes, exactly.
Right? One rotten.
They shine lights on the...
They rotten the rest.
Mm-hmm.
So now this one's... Now I'm pissed. Oh, why can you act like that? Now I'm bringing out my... You now have... Right?
A rotten bushel.
A rotten core of employees now. They're all disengaged. They're not... They don't... They're fighting. You know, now you have lost that dynamic if you had it where you had a cohesive team. And that's...
Almost like a cancer. So she needs to be... lasered out
before she spreads.
Yeah.
Or unless their goal is, I don't want the old folks. If you plan on slowly bringing in new.
Well, the boss is like.
Well, yeah,
what
the
hell
consensus.
too? Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I hope there's other upper management or somebody that would read this, or her boss would be like, "You didn't put no names, did you?" Because I'm not supposed to be taking a census. And what do you all think? Do y'all agree?
Yeah, to your point, it says, so the main question is, does she deserve a conversation from the boss on what needs to change, or will this problem only get worse as she gets more comfortable, and it's best to let her go now? So have a conversation with her, coach her, say this ain't the fucking way, or say this is not working out, goodbye. To your point, she's only a few weeks in, kick her to the curb. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry about your referral bonus. You're not getting it.
That's right.
You don't deserve one any fucking way. For
and you don't even know her. That's right. In fact,
you don't know your friend.
In fact, we're deducting money from you
for you owe us for pain and suffering.
Well, the new hire process, right?
Need damages.
That's an expense to the company.
Exactly.
You owe.
Exactly.
You didn't know. I'm sorry. And plus, you know what? That also shows me that, like, if she then is, just on another side note. So let's just say, right? I hire somebody based on someone that works with me, recommendation of their friend. You still got to do the interview. It's not all on them, right?
Exactly.
But if they have some of the qualifications, but you can't always get that personal piece out. So now I have you as her personal friend, at least ensuring from that perspective, or telling me they're a good person. And that's the issue. I'm going to look at you sideways.
Right, exactly.
I'm not going to trust. You might still do a good job. You're not getting fired, all that. But when you're like, I have an idea, I'm going to be like,
You telling me it's going to rain today. I'm like, let me look at my phone.
Right. Or I know a good place to go to dinner. Oh, it was fun. I will.
Nobody wants to hear from you anymore.
Right. Personally, right. You're done. Work. Zip it. Not interested. Because you thought that was a good person.
So, how many other people know that it was you who referred her? Because if no one knows, I'd keep that shit to myself. Maybe the recruiter knows or whoever, and maybe your boss. But don't go bragging around saying that you're the reason why that cancer is there.
So
you should be embarrassed.
My guess is she's shared with if she's posting here before the bitch even started. My friend's gonna be working here. She's great.
So excited.
Yeah.
Just a quick second to look for comments. Yeah, it's just a bunch of cut her loose. Oh, and somebody said because remember in the post, she said, I would hate for her to lose a job that she loves. Somebody said she loves the job because she's in there doing whatever she wants and running rod shot over everyone, including management. Surely she is still in her probationary period and can be terminated immediately. Don't wait too long.
Right.
Do not. We've all been stuck with some new coworkers that we can't get rid of, and it's the worst. Next story. So this last one is titled, Am I the Asshole for Refusing to Pay for My Sister's Husband's Surgery with My Inheritance and College Money?
Hold on. Sister's husband. So your brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. A more efficient way of saying it.
Kind of goes with people that would post.
So she says, my sister, who's 27, and she's 18, lost our dad a year ago. He was my only parent. My mom was never in mine or my sister's life. My dad left money and inheritance for me and my sister, and she used her inheritance to get new cars and renovate her house. I live with my aunt right now because my brother-in-law didn't let me stay with my sister. I'm planning on using my inheritance to...
Wait, her brother-in-law wouldn't let her stay there. Want to call that out knowing what the title was.
Yep.
Okay.
Put that in your back pocket.
Right.
So she says, I'm planning on using my inheritance to pay for college tuition because I've always wanted to be a doctor but haven't decided which branch yet. My sister and I haven't been close. It started after she got married to her chronically ill husband, who was allowed to make backhanded comments about my dad and mock his illness and make a scene at his funeral, only because he's ill and shouldn't be held accountable for his behavior.
What is it, Tourette's?
Parkinson's? Like, I don't know.
Tourette's, right? I'm just saying, what was at the funeral? Fuck it, son of a bitch. While they were someone's giving a eulogy, and he's just like, fuck it, close the coffin. Sorry.
Look, Tourette's Awareness Month is not this month. I don't even know if there is such a thing.
I apologize.
They don't, all of them aren't verbal.
Motherfucker.
Some of them just tick, okay? So she said, I've distanced myself, but my sister kept visiting a lot lately, venting about my brother-in-law's condition. He's been in and out of the hospital for heart problems and in need of a surgery. She brought up my inheritance money several times, but I ended up cutting the conversation. She then straight up asked if I could help pay for her husband's surgery, and she'd pay me back in less than a year. I felt uneasy because if I give her money for my inheritance, which is a large amount, then there's no guarantee she'll pay me back before it's time for me to apply for college. I'm taking a year gap, but I know my sister can't pay back that much, and I felt I was risking my future. I refused to help, and she had a meltdown at my aunt's house, calling me heartless, cruel, and with no empathy. She said that her husband's health should be a priority, and I needed to help because my education is nothing compared to someone's health, and if asked, I'd be happy to see her as a widow and my nephew with no father. My aunt suggested others pay, but most of them cut my sister and her husband off. I argued that if her husband's poor health isn't my fault after she kept blaming and guilt-tripping me. She kept crying, and although my aunt decided to stay out of it, she said that I should be prepared for permanent damage in my relationship with my sister if I don't help her now. She's been sending texts and pictures of her family telling me this is what I was saying no to, a happy, healthy family with a healthy husband and father. I cried and felt like I was being selfish and not a good aunt and sister. I asked my friend, and he said let them sell their cars and all their luxurious stuff they bought to afford the surgery, and warned me if I give them money, I'll never get it back, and I may not be able to go to medical school. Am I the asshole?
I think your friend, who's that friend? That's it. Why are you posting? Your friend just told you exactly
what you should do.
That's right. Or what she should do. Yeah. Sell your shit. That's it. I already had that in my head. That's what I was going to say. And when I heard that, I'm like, why are we even discussing this?
Yeah.
Your friend told you.
That your sister used her inheritance for new cars and a house renovation and whatever else. Those things, they're worth money.
Get a loan.
Get a loan. We don't know what your credit look like. We shouldn't care. But your inheritance is your inheritance. Her inheritance was hers. She did with it what she wanted to do.
And in my back pocket, he didn't let you live with them? I mean, whatever that was, be homeless?
And mocking your father, like, the reason why you have an inheritance is because your dad died. And he didn't like your dad. And made a scene at the funeral. Like, all of these, like, things, which is sounding like a lot of, like, karma to me, is slapping that man in the face. Like,
yeah.
And it's not your problem.
You know what, sister? Shame on you.
Actually,
shame.
Guilt tripping, like, this is what you're gonna be leaving. This is what you're doing. You're ruining this family. What?
You know what? And that's a shame. I feel for her.
Who?
The 18-year-old, the younger sister.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because she has no family but the sister. Well, she has an aunt, but immediate, right? Mm-hmm. From mom, dad, siblings. She just has that sister. Mm-hmm. So that's sad, but if that just, like, her aunt's probably right. If you don't give her the money, be prepared for just a damage, really. And if that is the case, you know what? Just own it, live with it, because you don't give away your future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when the aunt said that about, well, be prepared for permanent damage, I didn't know what the intent of that was. Is your aunt saying, give your sister the money or you're going to have a bad relationship, or don't give her the money, but be prepared that relationship is gone? Or maybe she's not saying like either one, just tripping.
You know, if you don't, like, I'm not going to tell you what to do.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it could be any one of them, right? But no, whoever that friend is, you didn't need to come to this internet. Right. You have a good friend.
You had a sound-minded friend.
I think she said he, her, whatever, told you exactly the right answer.
He said, let them sell their cars and all this shit that they bought to afford the surgery. If you give them the money, you'll never get it back, and you won't be going to medical school. Period.
Or maybe you will, like, you know, but then what? You got to go get in debt because he's probably right. You're never getting it back. So now you got to go get all the student loans. Maybe you get some scholarships. I mean, I'm going to assume you're very bright or right if you want to be going to medical school. If you're already 18, you're.
And I wish she had said the amount, like, but let's just say it's $20,000. I don't know. Your sister told me I could pay you back in a year. First of all, like, that's even just dumb to say to me. Like, you're insulting my intelligence. No one's paying back any debt like that. And I probably wouldn't even charge you interest. No one's paying $20,000 back in 12 months.
If you can't get it today.
If you cannot get it today.
Right. Right.
So you think I'm a
and
fool.
It's more than that, only because she said she put plural cars, right? Cars. And renovated her home.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, again, what that means.
Right.
Is it painting?
$100,000. Let's just
right.
say, yeah.
So but to your point, even you're not getting it back in a year or. And I don't want to say she threw it away if that's what her sister chose at the time.
We made our choices.
But it sounded like you also knew he wasn't well and you didn't put anything away for him not be, because, right, she said.
Got married to her chronically ill husband.
Chronically
was ill beforehand. Yeah.
So where's insurance? Or maybe, you know, whatever it is, maybe there's a piece that doesn't pay and he can't work. Do you not work because you have kids? Yeah. Right. Is that the out of pocket?
Right.
Not my problem. Get a loan. But no, if I were her, I'd be like, sorry, you chose him. And then why didn't he let her live with, like, where should she care about him? Yeah. First of all, he's a stranger. I mean, he's a brother-in-law. She's not, people, I love, you know, okay, it's family, but still.
That's who you chose.
That's right. That's exactly right. And I want to make better choices in my life. And you have stuff to sell.
And it's right. And it sounds like you don't want to give up your lifestyle for your own family. Like, and your husband, why isn't your husband like, sell the Maserati? Like, why isn't he the one saying, we're going to do whatever it takes to keep me alive? Like, hello?
Right.
Or was he the one like, ask your sister? Like, it's just ridiculous.
Or, you know, I'm chronic. Like, so they have at least a kid, right? Isn't she say that, wasn't there a nephew or something?
Yep, nephew.
So at least one kid? Go into his college fund. Like, have you not put money away for this kid? No.
You have other avenues besides me.
And and even if you don't, don't do it.
Do not do it.
If it were your sister.
And your sister is trash anyway. For even allowing this man, for whatever, all this other second paragraph stuff, made a scene at your dad's funeral, mocked your dad's illness.
And why wouldn't he let you live with them?
Right.
Well, she ain't coming here. Oh, but no, I should make sure
she can't come, but her money can.
And I'm not saying, tit for tat or none of that. You have goals. Like, let's even, call it out. Like, let's just say he's been very kind to you. So let's take all of that away, right?
All the negative
He's
stuff,
been kind. Maybe you did live with them. Maybe you did, right? You were younger.
Maybe there was no reason for you to live with them. Maybe that never came up.
Maybe it never came up. Right. Okay, you just chose to go to the aunt, or you did. And he's been kind, and he didn't taunt your dad. None of the bad. But the dad dies. You still have that fun. You have goals in life. Right. You should never go to the younger.
Yeah.
Well, and not that you should go to the older. If the younger was a fuck up, the older shouldn't bail her out either. I mean, right?
That should never even just I don't know what's wrong with it. But
should
never even be a thought in your mind. Because she said she kept bringing it up.
Right.
And finally, or kind of like passively bringing it up. And then she straight up asked, can I have it? And you were like, no. Like, and then she starts to send you the pictures and the
and that's just it. And I guess, okay, fine for the sister to ask if she's blind. I love him and I didn't say. I'm just saying. Sure. It is all a shame. But okay, she said no. Well, now she's a horrible person.
Right.
No.
And you're breaking up this family? What you could be creating a happy, healthy family right now. Look what you're doing. Like, what?
Why is it always the people that need money?
Yeah. It's called desperation. They're desperate.
But like,
they'll say anything, do anything.
Right. But I'm saying, but once they get it, if they get it, or when they don't get it, it's always everybody else's fault. It's never their fault.
Yeah.
People watch Judge Judy. She will educate you so well on how it's all your fault when you need the money.
Yep.
Not the reason why you need it, but I borrow from this person. No, I don't pay them back. Well, they don't need it. Who the fuck? Or they're just greedy.
You're doing fine.
They're just greedy because they want their fucking money back. Right. They don't need it.
Right.
They earned it. Like, it's
Right.
amazing.
Right.
So now this sister and cars and renovating houses is material. So she materialistically did with her money. The younger one was smart. I want to go to school, whatever it is, I'm saving it. Now she's wrong. She has no empathy. She's an asshole.
Yeah. And there's a point in here that says most of her family has cut her sister and her husband off.
Because they're clearly.
They're assholes, yeah.
So what are they saying, like how her friend said
The very first comment that got 51,000 upvotes was, "Your friend is correct. You'll never get the money back because sis isn't willing to give up her luxurious lifestyle. She chose how to spend her inheritance, didn't save for a rainy day, and isn't entitled to yours because of her poor financial planning, not the asshole."
Perfect. Is anybody say, yes, you're an asshole?
No. I couldn't even scroll through all of these if I could.
Sometimes it's just fun to see. Like, I think sometimes people do it on purpose. Put that adverse. You know what I mean? The just to see responses. You are an asshole. He's gonna die, and you're gonna be the murderer. Right. Don't buy it if you see
life
that.
Life is more precious than a medical degree.
Yeah. What she should say is, I am going to save his life. I'm going to go to I'm going to take a gap year. Then I'm going to go to med school. Right. I'm going to go to med school. Hold on. Let me tell you. Right. Then I got to do my residency.
Right.
But hold on. I'll see about looking into being a heart surgeon or whatever. Right. Bad heart.
Right.
Okay. So in about 10 years, I'll do it free.
Tell him to hold on.
Free.
Yeah.
I won't even charge your insurance. And I'll get him to stay in the hospital. Under the table dealings. Where they sell marijuana. I got you, sis. I'll do the surgery. I just need
just
about
tell him to hold on.
15 years.
Keep taking his Wellbutrin or whatever.
That's right. I'm ready.
No, but one of the, as I was scrolling recklessly to see other people, it landed on something so profound, and it says, it's in quotes, it's obviously a quote, but do not set yourself on fire to keep others warm.
Nice.
This applies to family too.
Wow. That's a good one.
Period.
That's a good one. I never heard that before. Set yourself on fire to keep other motherfuckers warm. Let them freeze.
And on that note, okay, Deb, what did you think of today's stories?
We're done.
Yes, you were sweating. You were rubbing your temple. You were
bleeding out of
every orifice.
I know some of these.
And I got white couches. Somebody's got to clean this up.
Well, I got to go. Let me tell you how this friend turns out. This bitch just walked out after she ruined everything. My problem. This is your house. This ain't mine.
You didn't plan for this?
You don't have maid service. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't come here to clean. No, that went by. Well, no, seeing the time, I guess we did. I don't know. We seem to make long ones still.
It looks like we're over 2 hours.
I just keep yakking. No, it was interesting. Yeah.
Very random. They were all very different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe try to find me no more Lifetime story.
I did
Lifetime scripts.
Best.
No, it's all good.
But 2 of those were fraudulent, or at least 1.5 of them.
Well, 1 entirely. Yes. What was that even about? Was that the pigs?
Creepy. She kept going to sleep, waking up,
creepy.
going to sleep, waking up, going to sleep. I would not have been able to sleep. There's nothing that you could have told me to make me stay in that house one more minute after seeing him standing over the bed the first time. What is this, paranormal activity? Like, get the fuck out of the room. Like, what is happening?
And smoking, right? He's just like...
wait, the feet! You got real pretty feet now.
Oh.
Like, what? Absolutely not.
I don't.
You better carry some pepper spray,
while the
girl.
girlfriend is sleeping, how do you not wake up? Like, even kicking her under to be like, let her just see.
Exactly.
You know, because maybe you'd want her see it where you're not saying it and he can't scurry out. Just be like,
scurry out. Like a rat.
Well, the rat that he is.
Feet.
Yeah. Feet.
You got some real pretty taters on the end of your legs. On the end of your legs, they're pretty, miss.
You wake up and it's like, why are they sticky?
Why are they wet?
Like, why exactly? Like, someone's been like, do you got a dog? I didn't know what's happening.
Sorry to recap that, but we just don't understand why you would have just stuck around for all of that harassment.
And that's the one that was just this weekend, right?
Yeah, last weekend.
Oh, all right. Please find this podcast and hear us and write something. Please say what's their
Relatable reaction.
relatable reactions. Say to you two bitches out on the internet, here's why. Please reply. We must know that this was not fake.
Please let us
Or on my thought process, let me know if Lifetime takes you up on your offer, because I don't think it's an engaging story.
Right, or let us know if we should submit it like anonymously to the network, because we think that we can get you, some inheritance.
That's right. But your character will be murdered, just so you know.
But the girlfriend first, because the reason why you were pushing on her and she wasn't waking up was because she was already dead.
That's
so,
right. That's
anyway,
right.
That's
You
how it
follow
always
him
goes.
when it's 3 years later, and he's feed for somebody else.
Feed.
That's like a Key and Peele.
Wait.
That's a Key and Peele.
I know.
Is that where you're gonna go with the baby?
Wait. So he's sitting on the edge of the bed. It's dark. It's smoky. And you wake up and you're like, what the hell is going on? He's like, this little piggy went to the market. This little piggy stayed home. This little piggy had a bag of weed. This little piggy had none. It's so fucking twisted. Look, we're gonna write this.
And
down when we done.
then he licks the tip of the other toes and starts again.
as you're covered in ashes, because he don't give a damn. He's flicking the ashes on you and everything.
Well,
like,
it's just falling out as it's hanging out. Well, and then,
nasty.
oh no! And then he's painting your toe. Yeah, we're just.
You look like you would like ruby red. Well, I want to thank Deb for joining me on another episode. Again, I hope she comes back because we have so much fun. I also want to thank my listeners for spending your commute, your workout, your workday, or whatever else you were doing while tuning in to the Relatable Reactions podcast. Be sure to subscribe and share the show with your friends and family. It's available on most podcast platforms. I'll be gracing your ears again soon. Bye.
Bye.